Hello, everyone. Hello. It is I, Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole. Happy console Saturday. Hey, everybody. Look, I've got so many things to talk to you about. It's a little outrageous, and I didn't have so many things to talk to you about until just this moment, and I might need to write some of them down so I don't forget them, because I have got. So this is okay. Look, so this is what happened. Let me just say post show notes right there. Okay, look, I've got things that I need to share with you. They are important things, and one of them is the reason why I did not get here 5 minutes ago, which I feel like you might find really interesting. Hi, everybody. What's with that staff? You LARPing a druid?
Name
Though
game.
I was indeed playing a druid. The amazing Lord Math Varen, Master Druid of the Circle of Cade Mirkvid, who was abrasive. is the best way to put it. Who was abrasive? Yes. But we got a sub. Y'all, I've got so many things. Wait, I'm gonna sing, but before I do, I'm gonna make this note. Wait, I'm gonna write this down because I will forget. Hold on. Greg and Sue. One. Next is Infiltrator. Ships. Next is Rumble in the Jungle. Hold on, this is important. Jungle. Starbeam Chocolate Milk. It's malted. And it's good for your bones. Monday? And let me think. Sue. Infiltrator Ships. Rumble in the Jungle. Starbeam Chocolate Milk. Monday night. Is that everything? Okay. I had to write that down. I feel like that's not everything. I feel like that's almost everything. Maybe. I got the bad moon behind you. Got some. That was in. The Witcher Roads Home. Max, it was in The Witcher Roads Home. Yes. I survived the Lord Math experience. Lord Math was on my just completed Witcher game. It says Prax, thank you, Prax, for giving the heads up. Sue Infiltrator Ships, Rumble in the Jungle, thing I missed. A Starbeam Chocolate Milk. Also, Kip Krellin, thanks for showing up over at the Traveler game on Friday. I saw you there. I know that you normally can't show up because, what do you call it? Because you have game night. But thank you. Also, I've got things for you all. Well, you were saying Peaches by Jack Black, but then we had Peaches by the President of the United States of America. But then I was thinking about what else is in the Teaches of Peaches but Sex in the Beaches, huh? What? Right. By Peaches. And then I was wondering, how many Peaches songs are there? Do you know what I mean? This is a question I have. That said, though,
We're in the money.
we just got some bits. Also, we have a name game. And those bits, when we get bits, I sing. I don't want to get emotional right now, but I sing. And I sing this song, We're in the Money. But I sing it like Ginger Rogers does in the film Gold Diggers of 1933, which means I sing it in pig Latin. Airway in. Airway in, hey, the anime. Airway in, hey, the anime. Eat way up, gay up, way up, way up, way up, way to ute it, gay young way. Arian, hey, the anime. The ice gazer, any say. Old me and the adiation pray, ooh, yare, ooh, ray, you're still hungry. Even if any eat red lions lay, every red lions lay, oot, day. And we see the end, the order will look like the I get in the IA. We're in the money, we're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. Y'all, so excited right now. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So, millions of peaches, pizzas for free. Uh, what? Uh, wait. What are we talking about? Hey, official pod guy, welcome in. How are you doing? Uh, the Inquisition to the Night Off last night. I've got something that I think. Well, I don't have it yet, but it's the summer, and in the summer, I've got projects that I've got going. I've got some academic writing projects, and I've got some gaming stuff that I want to do, and I am very excited about. Cause look, we are just on the like. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm so excited. Okay, hold on. The name game. Come on, everybody. Mm, I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Time of gifts, time is Obama gifts, banana, fana, for five of gifts, fee, fi, mo, mime of gifts. Time of gifts. The name game. Everyone. So, and the Oscar goes to, thank you very much, thank you. I might have introduced a colleague to Vampire the Masquerade. Ooh, Vo, nice work. I appreciate that. Does one dig for gold? I always picture people either panning for gold or mining it. Uh, well, when you pan for gold, there's often digging involved as well, right? So I think you would go to the banks, right, of the river. You dig up a lot of stuff, and then you just like sift it through your pan. So I think it's like I feel like you dig for gold as part of the panning process, which is different from part of the right. Yes. Okay. I've got all. Oh, I'm so excited. Let's see. So emotional. Yes. Mostly using push-up bras. Hey, PH. So let me see. Is there? I'm working my final essay for my first semester of college. It went by just so damn fast. Oh, it does. What's your essay on? Well, I mean, mining for gold is also digging for gold. Perhaps that's also true. Yes. Yes. Berentor says, depends on how big of a production you do. Industrial panning uses sifters and water and heavy equipment, digging up stream beds and shorelines. Oh, Berentor, I was thinking about the old coot, you know, the old prospector coot who's like, get away from my claim, and then is like there with a panic for. Hey, did you ever see the movie? Look, right now I'm very excited because I've got all these things in my head that I wanted to talk to you about or say, and I just had a new one, but I forgot it. But I am very excited by a couple of things, uh, and so you have to forgive me for that one a little bit. Old cool stuff still happens too. Folks still claim rights in color. Do they really? Um, if none of y'all have seen the film Treasure of the Sierra Madre with Humphrey Bogart, it's one of my favorite Bogart films actually. It's really good. And I just realized something. Do you mind? I need to bring you something. I'm gonna go and bring something back. Don't go anywhere. I want to show you something. It's an unboxing. Give me a second. Give me a second. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I have something that came in the mail, and I wanted to share it with you. Okay, so excited. Uh, chair stream is very entertaining. Chair stream, chairs. Look, chairs can be. You don't even know. Uh, let's go chair banjo and stick stream. It's a big box. So here's the thing. You know, right now, Vampire's on hiatus, right? We've got like 3 weeks off, I think, something like that. So I was thinking that I would do a surprise stream on Monday night, which is normally the Vampire time. I don't think I've got. Don't think I've got something going on Monday night otherwise. Let me double check. No. So I think I'm going to do a surprise stream on Monday for a reason. That was one of the things I wanted to tell you about. So what I thought I would do. Oop, there we go. I thought that we'd do a surprise stream on Monday. It would be a traveler stream, just you and I, y'all and I. It would be what I want to do is. So here's the thing. What I want to do is finish that fight between the Aslan and the Imperial the hunters. I think that the Aslan are going to take out those hunters from what it looked like on the map sheet, but I actually want to play it out. So I think on Monday night I'm going to go into a special stream, which is you and I, y'all and I, and we're going to go and finish playing out that fight and see what happens. Well, not so much of a surprise. Dang it, surprise run. No, you're right, pie guy. But type of kiss. Oh, Mary, this is London's a wonderful site with people working. Oh, night by night. Yeah. Oh, it's not surprise features. I did, but I thought that I thought we could do that. I thought it'd be really fun. Because I want to play it out and see what happens. I mean, look, realistically, well, I mean, we just have to find out what happens because I do have a couple of questions about things. So there is another possibility of something else I might do in that stream that is travel related, but I don't know yet. I figure we'll just see what happens with the fight. I just think we should hang out on Monday night and do the fight since I'm currently. The papers won't be in yet, right? Papers will not have arrived yet. I've got final papers. I'm doing grading today, but final papers won't be in yet, and so I've got to. And look, here's the thing: I've got dinner with students at 6 p.m., which means if I have a stream at 8:30, I cannot stay too long. So that is also a good reason for me not to stay forever. Yeah. So I think we're gonna do that. I think Monday night we will do like a pop-up stream where we finish that battle between the Aslan and the hunters, and maybe another thing. Maybe. Okay, so this is a box. From a place. We might do another thing. That was one of the things I wanted to tell you. Right? Rumble in the Jungle. Monday night stream. That's two of those things that I wrote down. Thomas says, it's going to be weird not having classes again until September. Looking forward to taking astronomy. I had a really good class. Some very good classes this semester. A box from a place, and now you have it. Right? It's a box from a place. Inside this box, I don't know if I can share this with you. It might be too much. There's packing material. Yeah, I know. I know. It's pretty outrageous. So this is what was in the box. Thanks for being here for the unboxing, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. It was really meaningful to me. Also, why does this have these weird arrows on it? Did you see that? I don't know if you could see that, but there are like Oh, maybe they're not arrows. Maybe they're just... So, everything in here is also in a box, which makes it not that easy to tell. You lose me for the next 20 minutes of bubble popping. Hey, if I pop bubbles for 20 minutes, I'll have to change the title of the stream to like ASMR or something. All right, so this one here, I feel like I shouldn't open yet. Why do they do this? Oh. Inside the box, there's another box. A box mirror placed inside of a box with packed material. I can't take it anymore. It's too much. I know. Pie Guy, it is too much. It's, you know, who could... I don't know if anyone could actually survive the excitement. It's really... Oh, made of ticky-tacky. Little boxes, little boxes. Little boxes made of ticky-tacky. Russian nesting boxes. Oh. Inside this box, there is more packing material. But finally, inside this box, we have the actual items. So, as you know, cardboard chainmail, my item is safe. As you know, I'm really interested in picking up games from other countries, and then I'm going to run them. It's gonna, like, right now, you know, I'm doing a bunch of games from like the first decade of gaming, 74 to 84. That was the other thing I wanted to tell you. I'm gonna write it down so I don't forget. One shot. So as you know, right, I'm really interested in the first decade of gaming right now. We're doing Traveler. We've done a bunch of, we did like Tunnels and Trolls and Rune Quest, Call of Cthulhu. So like that's in my mind. There are a couple other things from that first decade of gaming that I want to do as well. Like I want to do maybe some first edition Paranoia. I want to do the Dallas game. I just realized I want to do another game that I can't tell you about. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to because it's a surprise. So there are a bunch of things that I really want to do, and maybe I can do some of that this summer. But also in my mind are some of these games from not the US, right? That's also one of those things that's in my mind. Also, on top of that, I'm also really been grooving on solo RPGs, especially because sometimes we have a one shot that shows up like I have to cancel a stream because the players aren't there, but I'm here and I need to do something like, you know, do a fun one shot or something in between. So I've been doing some sort of solo games. Anyhow, there is another important game from not the US that I just recently was like, oh, I have to get this. It's the Schwarze Auge. Oh, the Schwarze Auge. You know, oh, is it gonna be one of those German RPGs? I actually, what do I have? I actually played the Schwarze Auge because they came out with an English translation not too long ago, and I played it over at Gen Con a couple of years ago. Hey, Lone Ku, how are you? And I have some thoughts about the Schwarze Auge. For the one shot that I played it in, there are some things I found irritating about it in a very old school way. Some things that other people would find irritating about it if they're D&D players primarily that I did not find irritating. And I will tell you about that after I reveal what I got in the box. So this is Cult, Divinity Lost, brand new edition of it. Cult being a Swedish RPG, an older Swedish. Actually, I also kickstarted Drachen och Demoner, so like they're big. A lot. Okay, look, what happened was a lot of countries. You know, so here's the thing that I'm going to tell you. I'm very excited to tell you this thing. Right? Cult! Right? Right? And here's the thing, brand new edition. This one is by Modifius, and it was first released. This game was first released in 1991, which makes it a Gen X game, like Vampire. Comes out same year as Vampire the Masquerade, right? So how exciting is that? When you play this request, you have served Kool-Aid. Cult is rad. I always wanted to try Vazen myself. Free League were at ECCC when I went this year, but I had no room in my bags to bring back a book with me. Oh, I understand how that is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But without the poison. Thank you, PH. Yeah. Cult is one of this really important Swedish games. So it was uh, Vazen's also Swedish. So I was like, okay, here's Cult, newest edition. This is part of my quest of getting all these really important international games. But I also got with it the Game Master's Guide, Beyond Darkness and Madness. I should read you the back of the core book rules in case you don't know it. It's a horror game. So, Cult Divinity Lost. PDFs were included. Cult Divinity Lost. Cult Divinity Lost is a reboot of the highly acclaimed and infamous contemporary horror role-playing game Cult, originally released in 1991. I've got some thoughts now. I need to think about this in relationship to other Gen X horror games, contemporary horror games that came out around the same time, which would be Vampire the Masquerade, Unknown Armies. I think there's a bunch of like Gen X contemporary horror, and we can ponder that. There's a thesis in there. This is the fourth edition of Cult. The fourth edition of Cult features a completely new rule set, and the setting is updated to present day. Escape your nightmares, strike bargains with demons, in nomine, and try to stay alive in a world full of pain, torture, and death. In Cult, Divinity Lost, the world around us is a lie. It's the Matrix. Mankind is trapped in illusion. We do not see the great citadels of Metropolis towering over our highest skyscrapers. We do not hear the screams from the forgotten cellar where hidden stairs take us to Inferno. We do not smell the blood and burnt flesh from those sacrificed to long-forgotten gods. But some of us see glimpses from beyond the veil. We have this strange feeling that something is not right. The ramblings of a madman in the subway seems to carry a hidden message, and when thinking about it, our reclusive neighbor doesn't appear to be completely human when we pass in the hallway. But slowly discovering the truth about our prison, our captors, and our hidden pasts, we can finally awaken from our induced sleep and take control of our destiny. This game explores mature themes. The content of this book explores psychological and body horror and contains a content warning inside. That Thing You Love says, I really want to play the TTRPG known as Definitely Wizards, a comedy RPG where the players are a party of non-wizard magic users set in a world where only wizards are allowed to use magic, attempting to pass a magic proficiency test. That sounds fun. Pie Guy says, I haven't actually watched anything about Vazen, but the description of the game sold me immediately. I'm easily sold. The description of the game sounds fun. Same. Barentor says, did you get the new edition of Drachen or Demoner? Yes, I did. Barentor asked if I got the new edition of Drachen och Demoner. Yes. Okay, so don't let me forget globalization, Drachen och Demoner. Don't let me forget also demons. Okay, topics: demons, globalization, Drachen och Demoner. That was the DMG. The Black Madonna, which is an adventure. I got free shipping. Teroticum and Other Tales. 7 standalone scenarios, which means we got some one-shots or short shots going on. Secrets and Whispers. Amazing art. More one-shots. A Game Master screen. And then Labyrinths and Secret Chambers. So maps and floor plans. So all of that came in, but I will not be able to leave this room. There are boxes everywhere. But that's not all. That's not all. Uh, I was wondering why I couldn't see until I realized two pop-ups from the screen. Yes, you have to click off those pop-ups. That's for when I'm playing Disco Elysium on Thursdays. Although we have yet to get that integration to actually work. We'll get there though. Rumblings of madmen, and here I am playing RPGs to get away from politicians. Uh, okay, Official Pie Guy says, getting new books is so much fun. A good unboxing is always hype. The last book I ordered and got to unbox was Legend of the Five Rings, which I still need to actually read. So many books to learn. I should really pick one and stick to it. You know, I mean, don't go wild. All right, let me put these books, and then I can open that last mysterious box, and then tell you about another thing, which is secret. And then we'll play the Outer Worlds. So, whew, so excited. Globalization. So I feel like I probably have not been to your stream in months. That's true. Well, we just started Disco Elysium because we got progress. We actually finished all the chapters of The Long Dark that existed up until that point in time, which is pretty dang impressive for me. You know how it is. Okay, more boxes. That's going to recycling. And I have a weapon deck for cults. Tarot deck for cult. Because this is for the Game Master. And a deck of traits for cult, which I feel good about. But that's not all. I got one more thing. Because I was there. Globalization, Dragons and Demons, so we'll be doing comparative demonology. Yes. I actually have I'm pretty good at my list. Not all the way through, but I'm almost there. So I really need a bookshelf. Right now, all my TPGs are just stacked in one corner of the room. Yeah, no, I need to actually unpack all of my RPG boxes. I've got boxes of RPGs that are not here. So, for example, this way. Yeah. So here, these are some of my GURPS books, but not all of them. Those are just a little bit of my third edition one. I don't have any of my fourth editions. Anyway, I've got a bunch of RPG books in boxes because I haven't really unpacked since moving back from Atlanta. I've been here for a year and a half now because I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm moving again, but I'm going to be living here next year. And since I'm going to be living here next year, in this, when I say here, I mean in the same apartment, I might as well unpack everything. But what if I move next summer? You know what? I'm not going to think about that right now. I'm going to think about showing you the very last thing that I got. And this is like this is like for me. I got 5 Parsecs from Home, 3rd edition, a solo adventure war game of galactic trailblazing. This lets you play war games by yourself. I think using kind of whatever kind of miniatures and stuff you have. So, I've always wanted to get into wargaming hardcore. I played I played Africa Core, which old school Avalon Hill war game. And I played. So here's the problem. I'm a little bit too young, right? When I think about all the people I know who are wargamers, they were just like 10 years older than I was. Like everybody my age was playing D&D, so I did. And a lot of the wargamers were just that much older than I was. And so I didn't have a lot of people who wanted to play war games because they were just a little bit more crunchy than D&D at the time. And so I've like dipped in. I've played Imperium, uh, the Traveler war game, and I've played Africa Core. I've played Ogre, uh, and but I haven't had enough time to like really play it a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like I've not had enough time to like get good. And so here is a solo war game. And it's a solo adventure war game where you assemble a ragtag crew of galactic trailblazers and head out to explore the stars, pick up jobs, and every now and then engage in some action-packed sci-fi combat. Battles are procedurally generated with a huge array of combinations of enemies, weapons, battlefield circumstances, and objectives, whether fighting rivals or carrying out jobs. Huh. With each encounter, you earn experience and loot, progressing your crew and story as you send your crew to look for contacts, trade, explore the colony, recruit replacements, or train up their skills. This is a little XCOM-y. The game is playable with any miniatures you have on hand and requires only a small number to get started, making it ideal for both experienced and new science fiction gamers. Fast-moving system built for solo gaming from the ground up. Create a wide range of characters, whether human, alien, or robot. Generate a huge array of possible missions, with more than 50 enemy types. After each battle, check for injuries, level up, and find new gear or upgrade your starship. Random tables for towns, trade, jobs, character events, and starship travel. 5 difficulty settings, plus super hard black and red zone jobs. Extensive options for game mastered RPG-like campaigns with connected plots, environmental hazards, and factional conflict. 7-stage narrative introductory campaign. So I just thought, I thought this was fun because I've been exploring a little bit of solo excitement, and miniatures are involved, and I thought, how cool would that be? That's what I was thinking. Those are my thoughts. I'm gonna find out what your thoughts are as the Murder Hornet. Let's see. Wargaming had a renaissance in the mid 90s via Warhammer when it exploded. Yes, that's true, but I feel like Warhammer's a little bit different, no? It felt like it was a different group of people that were playing Warhammer. Let me put it this way. They might have the same vibe. Or they might be the new generation of the same people. Does that make any sense? And I know that there's been some Fantasy Flight Games did that whole thing with X-Wing, where they had that really cool space fighting TIE fighter X-Wing. I remember that. I feel like there are these kind of new things going on. No regrets. I've made the unfortunate mistake of getting into the most expensive war game, Fit 40K, and now I can't escape its Walt Tractor Beam. It's fun though. It felt to me like I got the sense, and please tell me if I'm wrong, I got the sense that Warhammer 40K was a new generation in terms of rules, and my sense that it wasn't your grandpa's war game. And maybe I'm wrong. It felt like it was newer. Am I wrong? I feel like it. I don't know. I think that's why some tactics video games are so popular. It does all the math for you. Barentor says, I was way into it in the early 90s. It's so expensive. Does it have to be? Official Pie Guy says, it is, yeah. I'm trying to build out an army for when 10th edition releases this year, and I can't really finish it because of some of the units I want are expensive. So I can only really treat myself to a new unit like on birthdays or Christmas. Oh my goodness. I also like to look at that book, right? It looks good, right? It sounds a little like Necromunda, but single player. Maybe. It is by Modifius. They said it was going to be an easy job. Just get in, grab the goods, and get back out. Yeah, right. Those are Black Dragon mercs up ahead. Time to earn your pay. Just another day out among the stars. Seems like this is like a squad-based, perhaps, if we want to think about it that way. Platoon leader. Oops. Sorry about that. I did not mean to, fire a weapon. Especially since I don't want to be threatening. Also, Brissett said that we should look around with our doohickey, and we have... Okay, good. And there are people there who are... See those people? They're obviously waiting to talk to us. So we're gonna have to do that. But, I'm gonna catch up. Yeah, there are 2 Star Wars spaceship war games, Armada and X-Wing. That's right. The X-Wing minigame looked like fun. Like, so fun, but I'm not paying $50 for a Millennium Falcon Mini. Mm. Not if you get miniature agnostic war games. It's gonna be pretty cheap then. Yeah, so this one here is completely miniature agnostic, and I might be able to do it on Roll20. Right? If I just need a map and minis, I could probably do that on Roll20, right? Otherwise, I could probably set up a table with them. I saw somebody who on a forums who was using little plastic army men, and I thought that was kind of cool. Official Pie Guy says, has anyone tried the Fallout RPG from Modifia? Speaking of them, wanted to give that a look-see for a while. I've not tried it, but Little Red Dot wrote for the newest expansion for it. Because Little Red Dot is a massive
name game.
Is a massive Fallout fan, and so I know that, and it has been announced, so I'm not spoiling anything. And she announced it. But that said, what I wanted to say was, hey Artie, how are you? How are you? It's good to see you. Also, it's not technically a war game, even though it is, but Blood Bowl is fun and pretty cheapish. Oh, I have questions. You can get plastic spaceships of the same material and cost as little plastic army men. Ooh, nice. Wait, Crit Witch, do not apologize, because I'm going to sing you a name game, and I'm very excited for it. I really love singing your name for the name game for reasons which I will explain. Beetlewind says, there's a really cool agnostic war game that's a bit like Cult, and that it's super dark, and I've completely forgotten what it's called, and that annoys me. Beetlewind, if you remember what it is, make sure you say, because I want to look into it. My shame pile for 40K is the entirety of the Indomitus section of Marine Minis. Yeah, Dot's great. Atomic says, I looked at it, but haven't gotten or played it. It seems pretty basic, but targeted at Fallout, but seems to lean more Obsidian era than Bethesda era. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay.
Name game.
Name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain. Then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Crit switch, bo, bit twitch, banana, fana, fo, fit twitch, fee, fi, mo, mit twitch. Crit twitch. But if the first two letters are ever the same, I drop them both and say the name. Like Bob, drop the B's, Bo, Ob, or Fred, drop the F's, fo, red, or Mary, drop the M's, mo, airy. That's the only rule that is contrary. Blue pointer, bo, blue pointer, banana, fana, fo, blue pointer, fee, fi, mo, blue pointer. Blue pointer, the name game. Thank you for those resubs. So nice, so exciting. Love it. Official Pie Guy says, okay, I'm a bit ashamed to say I haven't ever played any of the Obsidian games, but everyone tells me that New Vegas is one of the best. So I've not played either one of them yet. New Vegas is the next one on my list. But I will, because I really do like Obsidian. Forbidden Psalm, that was it. Oh, RPG skirmish game, the war game, though. Ooh, oh, Crit Twitch, you're welcome for the name game singing. Look, I want an excuse to sing as much as possible, so, you know. So here's what I was thinking. So you're, like, y'all, ooh. We've got to repair equipment, everybody. So my wargaming is different. Not because I'm special, but what I mean to say is, what is this? Focus all. Oh, look at that. I didn't realize that I have something called Focus all, which remind me to use because it gives you bonuses when you're sniping people, and I have a sniper rifle because I like to snipe at people. So remind me of that. And let me eat some borscht and baked beans because I'm addicted to food, apparently. which I find super inappropriate. But
Hey, you! We've been looking for you, and by we, I mean Slug. Been real busy sniffing around Eridanos for clues, haven't you, Inspector? See, Sluglight Underground don't like that much.
If you had anything to do with Sublight, you'd have started shooting about 12 words ago.
Should have kept your nose where it belonged, Inspector. Slug's sick of all your meddling in their affairs. Our affairs, I mean. We're... Draw, you damn breadworm, draw!
huh, interesting. They're threatening me. I can't lie because I don't have a 105, which I think is inappropriate. I'm pretty good at lying. Krellin says, New Vegas is certainly better than the Bethesda games. It actually is a coherent story. Atomic says, New Vegas has a much better story, but it's just as buggy as anything else Bethesda. Berencher says New Vegas is my favorite. It's definitely in the class of its own. Everybody's loving some New Vegas. I have some thoughts, but I haven't played it. Official Pie Guy says, I played through and beat Fallout 4, but every time I try to play it again, the opening just kills me with it, like how slow it is, and then I delete it because I don't want to play anymore. Oh my goodness. I have thoughts. Beetlewind says, New Vegas is generally one of the best CRPGs of all time. Fallout 3 is good, and Fallout 4 is a decent Far Cry game. Oh, I don't know if that's a compliment there. Xbox. Topic. Xbox. Also globalization. I'm writing down the topics. Globalization, and then Dragonbane. Topics. Xbox, New Vegas. Okay, topics. Artie says, I think Fallout is one of those where different groups of people have different favorites. I've played them all except 76, and I enjoyed them all for different things. Artie likes the start of Fallout 4. The start of Fallout 4, the pre-bomb stuff, is the only good part. So, because once you get out of a settlement is in trouble, yeah. So, for me, okay, I'm an inspector, fella. Sticking my nose where it doesn't belong is my job.
Well, you ain't gonna stick that nose anywhere ever again.
I've got some medical skills. Medical 105. My medical's really good right now because of my allies, because I've got new allies with me. Dilated pupils, rapid breathing. You're high. Probably on the wacky weed. Had to turn to Adrena for courage, huh?
What? No,
Yeah.
my head feels
Yeah.
great. And once I don't have
Yeah.
6 tongues, I'll tell you what I think of your slander. Now stop
Really?
moving around so much. Oh, wait. I am high on adrenatime.
You are.
Maybe this was all a bad idea.
It was.
Any chance we could reschedule? Maybe do this whole showdown business? Never?
Yeah. Get out of here.
You don't need to tell us twice. Come on, all. Let's get the hell out of here.
Hey, look, we didn't get into a fight. We were just, hey, they're running. All right. I feel like I should ask my friends what they thought about that. I don't know if they have anything to say, but...
You know, of all the places we've been, this is the closest I've felt to something that can work. This whole complex, I mean. They've got gainful employment, a wilderness reserve for fun, an enormous roof over people's heads. Maybe after the dust settles, they could shore up some holes and be an example to the rest of the colony. Here's hoping.
I don't know. I feel like there's murder. Let's talk about something else.
What's up?
Nothing. How about, hey, hello, my friend. How are you?
Does being on the case give us temporary immunity? Think they'll let us confiscate a few stray bits?
I love you. We'll talk later, though. We have to see what's going on. By the way, we were just threatened. So, there's a constable, dry goods and sundry, harbor master's office. Well, this is an interesting location. Oh, that's a big ship that's docked there. Oh, okay. So here's like the actual for real spaceport. This is your spaceport town, very old west style. We're gonna just take all this ammo, and then once we do, I'm gonna find out what. I'm gonna just loot everything. It's fine. We're gonna go into the constable's office because I'm sure the constable has missions for us. Because why wouldn't they? Of course they would. And then once we walk in the door, I'm gonna see what you have to say. But I wanted to say something about Deputy Wine Taster. Okay. Deputy Wine Taster. Constable. Can I steal this wine? Nope. It's also not wine, it's mock apple juice. But, can I chat with you? Hi, how are you?
Greetings, non-criminally associated individual. The Rizzo's constabulary is currently not closed due to a sprat infestation. Bureaucratic processes are currently suspended. At present, criminal reports do not require paperwork. Please lament only in marked lamentation zones. Please speak clearly into this unit's recording instruments.
Interesting. Your designation is Deputy Wine Taster. What are you doing in the constabulary?
Error. Unit designation no longer wine taster. Unit designation now deputy.
Fallout 4 is worth playing for the children of Ugg Qualthoth mod, which is an amazing Lovecraftian quest chain. That's a mod, though, right? Yeah. Oh, right, says Artie. I forgot that Tactics exists. I haven't played that one either. So after that, the DLC to 3. So, what about the Fallout Brotherhood of Steel? The top-down shooter was terrible. Oh, Artie's, I played Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla for Assassin's Creed games, but Odyssey's my favorite. I have played Assassin's Creed 1 and 2. Yep, 1 and 2. That's what I played. Xbox. Liberation, that's what it was. Paladin, that was typed backwards. Which is E-pins. Atomica says, I think the settlement building was amazing, and the concept of settlements is trouble, and trouble can be a pain, but I usually kit out my settlements like I'm playing a tower defense game, so usually fine. Artie did enjoy the Mothership Zeta DLC for Fallout 3. Roller's like, this place is so messy. Yoink. Official Pie Guy says, ooh, Assassin's Creed. For recent games, my favorite has been Odyssey, but my all-time favorite was Brotherhood. When its multiplayer was constant, it was so much fun. Tamik says, I think the issue with most Bethesda openings are they are amazing the first time, but not the 10th, and are generally unskippable. Pie Guy says, that's my problem whenever I try to replaying Fallout 4, but with Skyrim, I never seem to be bothered by it. Beetlewind says, my view of Bethesda games is that I see them the way BioWare marketed Neverwinter Nights, in that the base game is fine, but the intention is for the players to make some crazy stuff. But I feel like that's kind of a problem. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you have to rely on your customers to make your game for you, that seems to be a bit of an issue. Atomic says, Skyrim, I have a save just when you get off the wagon so you can go right to character creation. It's entertaining that you can super level in the tutorial. Blood Dragon DLC is so good. I've not played Skyrim yet. Well, the Skyrim opening is much quicker than Fallout 4. That's Artie. Peach says, you throw a D20 at enemies to distract them. I think that's a good idea. Beetlewind says, Sim Settlements 1 and 2 are excellent mods that revamp the settlement system and make them more relevant to the game in general. Voice says, hey, good time zone, fellow executives and workers of the Halcyon system. By the law, greet you. I hope we are enjoying our mandatory weekend work hours. Yes, we're so lucky. Some companies don't give out overtime to their employees. I know. I never really got much into mods for games, and Sight Backwards is midway through Assassin's Creed Unity. So, like, we're gonna go back to the Xbox topic. Do you do your wine tasting instruments double as weapons or something?
while potential lethality of unit instrumentation bears towards 95% violent utilization of equipment would void unit warranty. All Rizzo's constabularies must include at least one deputy constable among the pool of available Rizzo's employee candidates. This unit was considered the most competent.
Oh, uh, you used to be a wine taste mechanical. What's your favorite wine?
Unit does not have a favorite wine. Unit is incapable of taste.
All right
How
then.
may this unit be of service to you?
Did you say something about a sprat infestation?
Checking logs. Error. Informational limitations found. 2. Reciting limitation 1. Do not tell users about constabulary sprat infestation. We do not need to pay the health inspector's bribe. A third time limitation 2. Do not read informational limitations aloud, especially not to any of those void-damned stuck-nosed guests, or I'll have you sold for parts.
So sad. I'm gonna just say goodbye. You know, there's a lot of stealable things here, but I'm not going to steal them because I feel like you're going to catch me. So Atomica says something interesting, and then I'm going to tell you all context. Atomica says, I would argue that the mod communities were an organic situation that those companies simply gave room to work. They didn't rely on them, but they didn't get in their way either. Barendor says, some mods for games change it to a completely different game. Like, Enderal is a fantasy setting game that uses Scum as its space, but changes just about everything. Atomic says, though, it wouldn't surprise me if they left some bugs in, let them fix it so they feel like heroes and we don't have to pay for it. Boy says, Unit is incapable of taste. I've never felt more kinship with a robot. Ugh. Hey, Rebecca, gonna relax here on break. My job is so intense. How's it going, Rebecca? How's it going? How's it going? Have you operated on anybody interesting today? I should probably kneel. Also, I feel like I need to eat food again. How did that happen? Also, cigarettes aren't good for you, but that's fine. So about mods, here's the thing. How do I? Okay, so I'm gonna say this, but I don't want to say it. Not because I don't want to admit bad things, but because I don't like the, is there a way for me to say this without the implications that I don't want to have? Yeah, this is hard to say. Ooh, employer rights. Under the Biased Labor Standards Act, wage determined by the merit of your work. Overtime may result in higher pay if the quality of said work is considered exemplary. Your employer has the right to dock your pay should you damage any facilities or equipment. It's your responsibility, not your employer's, to avoid workplace hazards. We're gonna break into this computer, but we're going to eat first, and then I have to tell you the thing, right, about mods. Besides, Sharon and Rissa are great mods, and I adore them. It's a bloodbath today. Sent me to help on the Rebecca ER floors. Oof. You know, I had a friend of mine who was an ER nurse, and she would work for like a couple of months, and then she'd save up the money, and then she would just travel the world for like 2 months at a time. Like she'd like do a couple months on and then a couple months off. And she was able to do that because she got paid. She was German. She did this work in Germany because she got really good pay for being an ER nurse, and that gave her enough money to just travel. Am I a purist? No, I'm not a purist when it comes to games. I'm not really a purist about anything, really. Um, I don't think so. Oof, when the supposed dystopia actually matches up more with a few jobs you've had, boys. Yeah, yeah. Um, what I would say is, so I'm gonna say this, but it's not exactly right. It's actually clearly not right at all, so I don't even know why I'd say it. But I'll say it anyway. But please note what I'm gonna say is just not true. Okay? I'm a console gamer. Now, that's just not true. It is, but it isn't. Like, the very first video games I played were arcade games, right? Were cabinets, and so I was playing arcade games back in the '70s, and then I could never afford an Atari because they were so expensive, and we didn't have a computer. I did not own a computer. Nobody in my family owned a computer. I was the first person in my family to own a computer, and the first computer I got was when I was 29 years old, and I bought a laptop computer because I was going to go to grad school. And I thought that, and I was told that when you go to grad school, you need a computer. So I got a laptop, and that was my very, very first computer that I owned. And my family got a computer a little, like sometime later after that. My dad always typed. We had typewriters in the house. We always would type with typewriters. So we had no, because computers were expensive. We didn't have the money for that, right? But I always used the computers in the computer lab at high school or in the public library. Like if I needed a computer, I'd go down to the public library and I would like use the computer at the public library or in the computer lab in school. Um, I spent most of my life using, I mean, I've been using computers. Please note though, I have been using computers since third grade. I've been using computers since third grade, and I've been hacking into computers. Like, if you're old enough, you're going to know what I'm going to say. When you're running a program on an old school computer, you could actually break. You could. It's like escape. You can like control escape or whatever it was, and it would basically crash the program, and then you could get into the actual basic code. So like I was hanging out in fifth or sixth grade, breaking into computers, printing out my dot on the dot matrix printer all of the basic code so that I could then go and read the basic code and learn how to code from it. So I was like teaching myself basic, 10, print hello, 20, go to 10, that sort of thing. So I was like teaching myself basic, and so I was around computers and I used computers a lot, and I did stuff with computers, but I did not own a computer until I got a laptop when I was 29. For the record, your employer should be paying for damaged or faulty equipment. If your employer tries to make you pay for it, call your state labor department and leave. Absolutely. A PSA from someone who didn't know labor laws for the longest time. Yes. Blue Pointer. Oh my God! I didn't get a computer until the 90s. I actually got my first computer in 2000 because I graduated, or 2001, like right around there. So it was like about the same time. Blue Pointer. Rebecca says gang violence last night today. Oh, I'm so sorry. So been digging bullets out of skulls. Oh my goodness. For 9 hours, I was called in early. That is awful. Are you okay? Are you okay? I was going to hand you something. I was like, oh, let me hand you. But I was like, oh, but we're not in the same physical location, so I cannot hand you something. Rebecca, I'm going to do something for you. You give me a thought. I'm going to do something for you because you had a really hard time. Let me think about it. I'm going to do something for you. I don't know what it is yet, but give me a second. I'm going to think about it. Yeah, I was a PC gamer for the longest time because my parents hated video games, but I needed a computer for school. Sweet loopholes. I got my first PC, leading edge model D, in my P5 final year. Oh, P5 final year of pharmacy school. Used it for my prof that I worked for in personal use back in '86. Nice. Thankfully, there are plenty of program books at your library. Pete says, if you're in a labor union, don't tell people you're in labor. That's how comedic misunderstandings. Or do tell them, PH, because maybe we want all the comedic misunderstandings. Okay, Rebecca, I've got you. Give me a second. Right here. You give me one moment. This is what I'm going to do. So here's the thing, everybody. We have a merch store. And I have set up this merch store. We've got really cool merchy things in there. And why do I have a merch store? That's a good question. Probably so that I can give my cast stuff. You know what I mean? And I am going to Rebecca. I'm going to send you a gift link for one of the t-shirts of the Gamblers or the Traveler game because they're really soft and comfy. And I need to just make a promotion link here. Let me do this. Let me make one. Promotions, create a promotion, giveaway link, select a product, and I want this t-shirt. I'm going to confirm it. And making one right there. Save. Yep. Copy link. Right now, I'm going to whisper you with the giveaway link for one of our t-shirts. I'm whispering you right now. There you go. So I've just sent you a giveaway link for the merch shop. So you can just go there and you can pick what color and size you want, and they'll just ship it to you. And take that shirt. It is warm and comfortable as a thank you for all the hard work you do. And like as a, hopefully it'll cheer you up a little bit because what a rough day, you know? Yeah. Beetlewood says, does said merch store ship internationally? And by that, I mean to China. Well, that's a very good question. One of the reasons why I picked them is because they are multi-country friendly. I know they have an EU shop as well. You can check, but I think you can check, but I picked them because they were size friendly and also they shipped not out of just the US. So check them out to find out. Because and then also Beetlewins, you should let me know. You should let me know. Oh, happy tears are good. I love good happy tears. Yeah. Yeah. So the thing is, we're gonna just hack this. Ooh. Security footage archives. Nothing. Internment logs. Oh, okay. Cassidy Mills. Delinquent name, Cassidy Mills. Cause of arrest, suspected smuggling. Arrest log. Suspicion of smuggling is fait accompli to any arrest report involving Cassidy Mills. Cassidy has made attempted smuggling a hobby. With a few more years of unsupervised practice, will likely elevate attempted smuggling into an art form. The key term here is attempted. I'm not at all confident in Cassie's ability to successfully smuggle anything. She's clumsy in the extreme, obvious to a fault, and couldn't hide sand in a desert. Suspicion of smuggling nonetheless constitutes dissident, irresponsible, and otherwise untoward behavior contrary to the high standards of Rizzo's company law. Because Cassidy Mills falls under the purview of Sublight Underground, I expect Mr. Kincannon to pay her internment fees within 36 hours, as usual. Consoles. Zuber Oza. Cause of arrest, disorderly conduct. Arrest log. Mr. Oza was found semi-conscious earlier yesterday morning, lying amongst the remains of a crate of Rizzo's confectionaries. Material value, 15 bits. Market loss, approximately 1,500 bits. When approached by guards, Oza began to rave and yell, uttering phrases such as, Rizzo's has slugs! Slugs! They'll kill us all! He's not wrong. Mr. Oza was apprehended and brought to the constable's office. Slug bureaucrats have begun work on the defamation papers, which, in tandem with the price of the goods Mr. Oza destroyed, will likely force him into hard labor for the rest of his life. At least he won't be stoking any trouble between us and Rizzo's anymore. I'm trying to tell you, he's not. There are slugs. He wasn't talking about you. Alexis Lamb. Cause of arrest, public drunkenness. Arrest log, 6th arrest of Lamb this month. He's getting close to his record. I would like to know who the sheriff was. Let's check the diagnostics. Message system, everything passes except for record archives. Error, record archives not found. Pursuant of Rizzo's company policy, all constabulary terminals must provide for the maintenance, archiving, and disposal of official records. Let's hack. Let's run some data recovery, because I'm a hacker and a bartender. Not me, but, you know, Jessa. Record archive backup not found. Record archive index not found. Record archive recovery subroutine has been critically altered or damaged. Critical damage detected. Data recovery failed. Subroutine repair requires supervisor access. Please enter your supervisor clearance passcode now. Let's query those record archives, shall we? Accessing information on record archives. Record archives not found. All Rizzo's constabularies must maintain detailed archives of official records. Deleting record archives requires high-level clearance. Any attempt to delete official records without clearance is a punishable offense. I feel like there's a cover-up. I get the feeling that there's a cover-up here in Sublight. Unauthorized use of this terminal is punishable by a monetary fine or indentured labor in the cantina kitchen. Ooh, let's hack and get some passcodes. Messages, passcode. I love Terran Monarch. Me too. Passcode accepted. Welcome, Maria Keene. Okay, one message. Consoles. From Q Ludovico. Constable, I know you don't need to hear this, but please be on your guard. Perius Spaceport is technically outside my jurisdiction, which means you're the only representative of company law in Slug territory. This is more than I can reasonably expect from you, but I'd appreciate it if you kept an eye on Cedric Kincannon. He's looking for any opportunity to seize control of the entire complex from me, and you're keeping him in check. You are the first, last, and only line of defense between Slug's lawless hooligans and our project. I know you have dreams of something bigger than Eridanos. If this product launch is successful, if Spectrum Brown spreads to the rest of the colony, I promise you, find you a place where you can be happy for the rest of your life. You're a valuable part of the Rizzo's family, and I will look after you. Quentin. Okay, but here's the thing. Whoever this person is, Maria Keene, is not currently here that I can find, which makes me feel like she's dead. You know what I mean? Or in some other way murdered, which makes me concerned about whether or not this Quentin was at all accurate in the, looking out for you. Because I feel like sometimes in this universe, when they look out for you, you end up dead. But also, more importantly, we just got some subs, and I feel like I feel like you know what that means, and what that means is that I'm gonna sing the name game. Also, I would really like to just get that ammo. I'm stalling before I sing because I just want to loot everything in the room before I sing, so that we can just walk out that door and not and I don't miss anything, because I hate missing things. But ooh, Singularity Steel sawed-off shotgun. This aggressively sawed-off shotgun is the signature weapon of Singularity Steel, renowned space pirate, gunhand, and gardener. Oh. This weapon, just as board-disapproved as its wielder's serial is, thankfully, it's just a prop. Otherwise, attempting to fire it would have a 50-50 chance of reaming an entire room with buckshot or exploding in the user's hands. Well, I mean, I would still take it. I bet you could, make a lot of money from selling a really important prop from somebody as exciting and important as Singularity Steel or something. The name game. Come on, everybody. I say, now let's play a game. I bet you I could make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B on F, on M will appear. And then I say bow at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. Then I say the name again with an F very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Ooh. Rebecca and Miracle. Rebecca and Miracle, Rebecca and Miracle, ooh. Ooh, hold on. Okay, Rebecca and Miracle. 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 Okay, no, that rhythm is wrong. Rebecca and Miracle. Rebecca and Miracle, Rebecca and Miracle, Becca and Miracle, Banana Fenifo, Becca and Miracle, Thief, I'm a Rebecca and Miracle, Rebecca and Miracle. Roll a 300. Roll 300, roll 300, Bobola 300, Banana Fenifo, Fola 300, Thief, I'm a Mola 300. Roll a 300. The name game. Thank you for those gift subs, anonymous gifter. Speaking of gifting, our merch store is with Fourth Wall, and what's really cool about it is that while I'm live, people can go to the merch store and can gift merch to people. You can like make your own giveaways, which I think is pretty cool. Let me see. Beetlewins is like, empty your inventory. I feel like it's not that bad, is it? I mean, I just picked up some heavy things, so it might be bad, but I have been underweight for quite a lot in this game in the last 2 sessions. You know, probably, more or less. More or less. Rebecca's like, I love your sound. I love my sound effects, too. I want more of them. When I was doing Crash Jones, I set up this entire keyboard full of sound effects, and I'm going to continue to do so. I'm going to make more sound effects. You don't even know. Yes, you don't even know. Let me see. You know, if I was told I couldn't hide Santa Desert, I was trying to be a smuggler, I'd be hurt. You know, it's probably true. So let me see. The more you know. Loot first, sing later. Sounds like a solid order. I just want to not forget the loot, you know? Let's see. Guns half off. You get either the trigger or the barrel. Mm-hmm. Volus said, why bass guitar player was wearing a bedsheet over their head at the studio? They're recording music for a cover band. Volus, you started this. I just want you to know right now, what is about to happen, this is your fault. It's your fault. Please note this. What's about to happen is your fault, Volus. That was an excellent joke. I'm very excited. My nurse girlfriend is rubbing my shoulders. Good. A little bit of, like, love is good. Got there eventually with the name game. I got there. Lawn us mode. Now can relax and do other work. That was Hawkeye. Beetlewind says, my inventory has been underweight for the last 2 sessions. Extremely skeptical. It has been. It totally has been. More or less, you know. So this is for Volus. Hey, Volus. Look, I'm currently underweight. Look, see? I'm at 283 out of 350. I am so good right now. I feel like... Why is there somebody sleeping on the floor?
Damn it. She's one of the good ones, too.
So she's not sleeping. She's murdered everybody. Hey, everybody. Wait, I'm sorry. What is this? A dead body? Yeah.
An aberration in the expected timeline for this organic being has occurred. Behold, the body of Maria Keene, formerly the constable of the Eridanos Atmospheric Complex. No signs of life detected. Maria Keene is survived by no known relatives.
Perception and handguns. These are small wounds. She looks like she was shot in the head and neck.
Excellent observation, Inspector. Multiple wounds located in the frontal bone and between the clavicles suggest she was facing away from her attacker. Furthermore, the location and circumference of exit wounds suggest a firearm with unconventional ammunition.
I noticed some casings in the ground. Ammunition?
These casings are too minuscule for conventional small caliber firearms. Each casing resembles a lancing needle used for medical and surgical purposes.
Medical purposes? Amplifier. Scan her blood for toxins.
High concentration of potassium chloride detected. Trace amounts of neurotoxin detected.
Potassium chloride? That would have stopped her heart.
These substances show the highest concentration near the entry and exit wounds. Cardiac arrest, rather than physical trauma, is the most likely cause of death.
In RPG terms, this would be a needler pistol, and you can get those in GURPS. I have not... I wonder if they've got needlers in Traveler. Trooper, is chat judging you based on your weight? Under or overweight. I love you just the same. Thank you, PH. I love you. Another murder. It's another murder poo. Headshots are for us. Cardioplegia. Oh, there are needlers in Warhammer? I love a good needler pistol. You know, a lot of games don't have them. Amplifier, make a note. Whoever did this, find whoever did this, and make them pay.
Your memo has been noted. This unit has been programmed to offer encouragement during moments of emotional strain. Banter protocol activated. We'll find the sprat bastards responsible, Inspector.
That we will. That we will. You're a medic. Oh, my medical friends are not here with me. I was about to tell you all something. Rebecca? I feel like that's where I was at. Let's see. Lawn mode, inventory, murder, yes, Volus. That's what we were gonna do. Yep. Official Pie Guy says, they have needlers in Star Wars FFG, but so far my party hasn't found one. That's a fun system to play, and I think they changed hands. I think it's under the edge. Yes, because it was FFG, and FFG, well, not them themselves, because they were bought out by some. There's a lot of buyouts. You know what I mean? I'm so sorry. There's a lot of different buyouts, and I think they had some kind of corporate raider sort of company that just, you know, so like pulled them apart, sold them for parts, that kind of a thing, in a really disappointing and frustrating way. I wonder somebody murdered her for a reason, and we need to figure out what that was. We need to find out why she was murdered, because this will not stand. Also, we need to rifle through all of these things, is my point, actually. Greatness there. And more doors, a lot more doors, but we have a this. I'm going to play this and then read. Oh, no, wait. We're going to save. Hold on. We're going to save. And I keep threatening Volus because Volus started it, but Volus doesn't know what he started. So Volus, since you started it, and I don't want to forget that you started it, because I will, because it has, you know, moved up on the thing. Volus, you started it. Are you ready? How do you know that there's a banjo at your front door? A banjo player at your front door? The knocking keeps getting faster and faster, and they'd never know when to come in. Okay, how do you know that the stage is level? Drool comes out of both sides of the drummer's mouth. What do you call a minor second? Two banjoists playing in unison. What do you call a composer that you can't find? Haydn. What do you call a composer who's very organized? Liszt. Oh, there are like soprano jokes too. What do you call perfect pitch? Perfect pitch is when you can throw the banjo into the garbage can without hitting the sides. What's the difference between cutting up an onion and cutting up a banjo? Nobody cries when you cut up a banjo. Guys driving, you know what I mean? Around. Banjo player, his car, and he's got his banjo in the back seat. It's really expensive, very flashy, and it's a bad neighborhood. And he drives up into like a pulls up side of the road to go into a store, and he thinks, "Oh, should I leave my banjo in the car? I don't want anyone to steal it. I suppose it'll be safe. I'm just going to be in the store for like 5 minutes." So he goes in the store in the 5 minutes. He's in there just really quickly to go get some stuff, right? When he comes out, he sees that the back window of his car has been broken, shattered, which is where he kept the banjo in the back seat. And he rushes over there. And when he looks into the back seat of his car, there are 5 more banjos there. There are also banjo and tenor jokes, but I can't remember them anywhere. Just talking to my friends who go to RP Werewolves. Ooh, RP Werewolves, that's very good. Do that. Okay, wait. Potassium chloride, world's sneakiest murder weapon. Really? Too much in a bolus causes a heart attack. Then dead cells leak potassium chloride for death, making it very hard to trace. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay. Beetlewind says, I just saw that body and thought, oh, nice colors in that armor. Then I realized that in this extremely capitalist future, there would definitely be a hype beast culture of armor heads buying cheap armor at grossly inflated prices because of hype colorways. Also, that I would be one of those people. Yeah. Sorry, I think this message got sent twice. No, it's not spamming. I just see it once. Mordor's, where's Sauron? A wild widget appears. Okay, pun wars has begun. I'm just saying. What does a thief steal from a music shop? The loot. Oh, PH. That's so good. I will remember that one. It's so good. Musicians never die, they just decompose. Where do the high note singers stand? 10 or 12 miles away? Yes. What's the bassist sing? So low you can't hear them. Okay. First off, Volus, I blame you for this, and you get the award for brilliancy, because who does not like this? Who does not like musician jokes and puns? Come on, so good, so good. I love that. We're in trouble now. Kaka, you're a bass. Are you a bass or a baritone? Are you a bass or you're a bass, right? Are you a bass or a baritone? Most of my music joints come out flat. Oh! What is the musical part of a snake? The scales. Oh, okay. Everybody, I'm so excited. Bass with baritone tendencies. We all to know better. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go and find a song for you all, by the way. I can't play it here because, DMCA, but I am going to see if I can find this. It's a song by a band that I really liked. Let's see. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to post it in chat and then also in Discord when we get there. So, there was an a cappella vocal group from the 80s. And that group is from the Bay Area, and they were called the Bobs. And they were... So in the 60s and 70s, like jazz vocal groups like the Swingle Singers, etc., were kind of big, King Singers, and the Bobs were a Bay Area sort of a cappella vocal group, kind of weird, but in the best possible, like weirdo, nerdy Bay Area sort of way. And they did a lot of they were very cool. They were sort of, I think, very early in sort of creating instrument sounds. Like they do a version of Helter Skelter where they sort of and they do a Psycho Killer, which is actually very good. Anyway, they're very, very good. And they've got this great bass player, Richard Bob? No, Richard Bob was not. Janie Bob, Richard Bob, they all have the last name Bob. That's not their real last name. Anyhow, their bassist, they sing a cover of Little Red Riding Hood. Hey there, Little Red Riding Hood, you sure are looking good. That one. And lead is the bass. And since we have a bassist here, I'm going to send a link to their cover of Little Red Riding Hood. Why didn't the bass sing in the group? He sat out. Okay, that's really good. For those who know who your choir, that's really good. Hawkeyes, listen to the Bobs. Hawkeye. Break is over. Gotta go. Go. And keep heart. Go listen to the Bobs. What was Beethoven's favorite fruit? The banana. The Bobs used to show up on your Nylons channel in Pandora. Oh, that's so cool. Have a good time, Rebecca, and, keep heart, and we will see you again. I really like the Bobs. Hawkeye, I'm going to say, there are some people in this chat who know some obscure music, and I appreciate it because I like some weirdo stuff, and I can't not.
Criminal. This unit would implore you to confess to your crime of landing with an expired permit. Please explicate your defense into this unit's recording equipment.
My permit wasn't expired, Scrappy. You probably just scanned it wrong.
Error. Unit's permit reading equipment was updated only last week. Please tell a different lie.
Tell a different... You're a mechanical. You ain't got the foggiest idea whether I'm telling the truth or not.
Correct. Criminal. However, Constable Keene has decreed that this unit will remain here, questioning you every minute until you submit a confession. Error. Information on recent exchange lost. Restarting conversation. Greetings, criminal. This unit would implore you to confess to your crime of landing with an expired permit.
You know what? My permit was fake after all. Let me out of here.
That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it. Yes. Artie says, I wonder if, speaking of which, I need to go back here. I wonder if anyone has made a YMCA cover called DMCA and changed the lyrics to being about not being able to play music because of DMCA. Just remind me of a thing I didn't want to forget. I didn't want to forget this. Hold on. 1925. Oh, I think it might be 24. For RPG and music stream. So now that we actually have stuff that's in the public domain, I could actually do another music stream with only stuff that's within the public domain, and I'll still get the copyright strike because it's all automatic, even though it's in the public domain now. And I don't know if you know this, but Twitch does not have a category for public domain for when you appeal. You only have like, I own this, or I have the rights, or it's a mistake. And so I need to just double check with some folks. But I've got some ideas also. One more, hold on. I've got so many ideas for the summer. I'm really excited. I'm really, you don't even know how excited I am for this summer because the last summer I was moving and I haven't had, basically I have moved the last 2 summers. So, you know, I try to get a lot of good gaming done in the summers because that's when I'm not, you know, that's like I'm not teaching and going to meetings. And so I have a lot more free time in the summers. And that's why I try to get a lot of research done, but also gaming that I can't do normally. And so the last 2 summers in a row, I've not been able to get extra gaming stuff in because I was moving, you know? And this summer is the first summer I've not been moving in 3 years. So because like the last summer I moved to Atlanta, the summer before that I moved to Ithaca. And I think the summer before that I might have moved. No, I moved into this place mid-year. So basically, like I've not been able to do all the things that I want to do. And now it's the summer's coming up. We're not there yet. I still have grading to do and some final papers coming in, but we're getting so close. And I'm really excited about doing some
I made a bet with you at the copper
stuff.
bottom last night. Let's call it off now. I can't stand the taste of life sprats.
Let's see. Getting shades of Kiana's E404 from this bot. Yeah. Hello. How are you? Are you okay? I do not think that I can open this door. I mean, I would let everybody out because why wouldn't I? I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, just let everybody out. Nobody in here. Consoles. That was the topic we were on. Wanted, Phineas Wells. Chairman Rockwell and Minister Clark, the team to lead Halcyon to an even better tomorrow. I don't like any of those people. Oh, hey, it's Cassidy Mills.
I'm a criminal, get it? They don't let me talk to law-abiding sorts. If you ain't a constable, then we ain't got nothing to discuss.
I mean, I would chat with you.
I'm a criminal, get it?
I see.
They don't let me talk to law-abiding sorts.
I would free you all because I'm a hacker and a bartender, and I like trouble. I don't know. Console and mods. So, I was saying that I didn't have a computer, right? Until super, super late. Okay, well, that was a whole thing we did. Oh, I'll just pick this up. And also this. And we have... I know there's something really important chat going on right now. I know it. Let's be, look, there are... a bunch of stuff down here. This seems like an entirely new area, which is very big, so let's not go down there yet. Let's finish... Let's be systematic about this. Let's finish this area. Hello. And then we're gonna hit this upper level. We'll clear out everything here, and by clear out I mean loot everything up here, and then we'll go downstairs. But I wanted to, like, I know you're saying something in chat, and I need to know what it is, but what I wanted to tell you was, I wanted to finish the story about computers. Because I did have a point, I swear. Nah, I just want to see what you have to say in chat. I'm gonna look. Because I like you all, you know? I'd like to hear what you have to say, so... I wonder if there's anything interesting on these crates, and if I might be able to climb up them. Probably not. Maybe. Nope. Nope. Hey. Elder Scrolls games. What was that? In Elder Scrolls games, I used to jump everywhere all the time, and so I'd get my jumping skills. We're talking Morrowind, and also Oblivion. I haven't played Skyrim yet because I haven't finished Oblivion because it killed me. I didn't die. I was fine. I can't. I'm getting sidetracked by Elder Scrolls. The point is I used to jump all the time. Then I could jump like a lunatic, and it was awesome. We're going to hit the dry goods store next. Anyhow, we didn't have money, and so we couldn't get an Atari because they were super, super expensive. Hello.
Carry on.
Okay. But the ColecoVision came out, which was basically the cheap home console. The ColecoVision. It was super, super cheap. It came with a free game, which was Donkey Kong. And my family got the ColecoVision so that we could play. And I remember we had Donkey Kong Jr., Looper. Did we have only those 3 games? We had like maybe a total of 3 or 4 games total. And I played those 3 or 4 games to death, like over and over and over and over and over again, just nonstop. And that was the console that I had. Why is there no... Oh, there is somebody who works here. I was like, why is there nobody who works here? That seems mysterious.
Stalking. No, we're stalking.
We are stalking. We are. Because we're going to pick their pocket after we eat food. So that was like the... He's a Corporation Service Award. Interesting. Ooh, hold on. I wonder if I can, let's save. Let's just save. Let's save. You know what I mean? I feel like we should save. Let's save. Because Jez is a bit of a thief. Okay, cool. Now we're going to talk to him after we've just robbed him all over the place from all the stuff. consoles. So I didn't have anything other than
Hello. Welcome to Aridano's
a
Dry Goods
ColecoVision,
and Sundry, the
right?
most standard and unremarkable general store this side of Halcyon. I'm marketeer Joseph Dempsey, here to make your shopping experience as pleasant and normal as possible.
Weird. Standard and unremarkable. You said well, maybe you should invest in an advertising seminar.
Hey, folks take a lot of comfort in knowing their neighborhood
Whatever
general
it is.
store is unchanging, eternal, like the land beneath their feet or the air in their lungs. Whoops. Forgot I ain't supposed to poeticize on work time. The
It's
dramatic
okay.
nature of our store profits is what I meant. Now, can I sell you anything?
Yeah, let me see what you've got for trade. Excellent. Hawkeye says, as a bass singer, my favorite is to listen to is Southern Gospel and a cappella groups because I can sing along with them pretty easily. My favorite group of all time, the Imperials, the gospel group, not the Little Anthony group. Well, both are good. Also, Southern Gospel's got some great bass parts. Great bass parts. Like, really. Do you like also, Hawkeye, do you like Barbershop? Do you like Barbershop? Rocket propelled grenade and music stream, it sounds like a blast. Young man, why are you singing out loud? Extra gaming. Official Pie Guy says, I'm big hype for the summer, but also big sad for summer because it means my Call of Cthulhu campaign takes a break. But hey, more time for other short campaigns? Yes. Look, this is my thinking, right? My thinking is, I usually have like a longer campaign that is broken up into seasons, about 12 to 15, 16. And I feel like the summer is the time for me to go and look. What I'm trying to tell you is this. I have got a bunch of little games that I've run that I think of as not being done, right? Cthulhu Confidential, Knights Black Agents solo. Those are two that are like, for me, ongoing. And I want to see if I can get some players. I want to see if I can get my peeps. I wanted to go and ask them. I was like, hey, can you play? Because I want to run them again. And then I also want to figure out how to create a special character sheet and Roll20 for Tunnels and Trolls and this thing that I have in my mind. And then I want to go and run that group that I ran Tunnels and Trolls with for another adventure because I love them. Like, there are a bunch of things that I want to run that would be short shots, right? And I want to run this vampire short shot as well. So basically, I want to use this summer to play more games. And I need to actually, it's one of my goals for like this weekend is to sort of plan out. I've got to figure out what day I'm going to have my second RPG day because I want to have a second RPG day, but I've got to figure out what day it will be. When I will have a second Foxhole day. And it might be, I don't know what it will be. Not Mondays or Sundays, or Fridays, of course, because Fridays is my regular day. Not Thursdays, because I stream. That leaves me Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday. So I'm going to pick one of those 3 days and have a second RPG day is what I think I'm going to do. Because I finally can. After so many years, I finally can do it. So one of those days, either like Tuesday or Wednesday evening, or like a Saturday. Oh, Saturday night I could do. I'll think about it. And I want to keep Sunday afternoon open for like special surprise things. Yeah. PH says, I spent a few minutes now finding out and listening to a lot of YMCA DMCA cover songs. There's a bunch, and they're, in my opinion, not great. Lots of enthusiasm, but the quality leaves something to be desired. Krillin, did you fall asleep? Maybe. That little drum beat when a skill goes up in oblivion is permanently burned into my brain from all the jumping. Yes. Baltiel, I know that one. We had a Coleco version of Pong when I was a kid. Yes, I'm old. Did we have Pong? We might have. My grandparents had it on television. Ooh, that's a good one. We only have one flavor here. It's not Rizzo's. Yes. Carl says, I'm surprised even 2 people know that reference, though I'm less surprised it's you two. You know. Hawkeye says, of course I like Barbershop. If it ain't 3 or 4 part harmony, it ain't singing. I'm so glad. I love Barbershop too. Almost joined the Caveman Chorale in Central Kentucky 25 years ago when we lived in Bowling Green. Oh, nice. By the way, we're going to just sell all our junk. And since we're here, we're going to sell some stuff, and you can be totally proud of me. Also going to buy some bypass shunts while we're here. Although I don't know if I need them. And also some lock picks. I mean, we're here, might as well, right? So here's the thing. Look, I understand that we're going way back to a conversation we started a long time ago, but I do have a point. Revolver Mark III. Huh. Why would I like this? Magazine size light, damage 281, does a lot more damage. My pistol's really good, but it's this style. Huh. I am going to... Oh, this is expensive. I don't have a lot of money, but what if I buy it and it's good? Like, what if I buy it? Oh, I've got a huge discount. I'm gonna buy it. Like, maybe if I, what do you call it? Up it, mod it and all that, I can make it really, really good. I mean, we will see. If not, then we just sell it, and that was life. But let's sell stuff, shall we? So, I did have, I mean, it's level 32, but we can make it better. We can make it better. That is my shotgun. Everybody's got one. We've got some things in here. It's probably time for us to have some thoughts about selling that. Ha! I sold something. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Sell that. I sold things. Console. I'm gonna get to the... I have a point, and I will get to it. Gall darn it. I can sell that. Let's just sell that. And then let's sell that. Everybody. Luke gods. Sell that too. Sell that too. Okay, look, I sold things. And I don't think I need to sell really anything else at the moment, but I am so low in my encumbrance that it's insanity. I'm going to finish my thought about consoles. So we don't know what's down here, but we're going to find out. So when I was 18, so it's like, 1990, I graduated high school. We still had the ColecoVision, and then I joined the Army. And when you're in the Army, you do not... Oh. Huh. This, by the way, is down on the lower floor. No, because I haven't finished exploring the upper floors. I will come back down, but I'm not ready for that right now. So anyway, join the Army, right? 18. And the thing about being in the Army is when you go to basic training, they say, these are the things that you can bring with you. These are the things you can't bring with you. And it's not a lot of stuff. So I brought with me basically nothing because they basically tell you don't bring anything to basic training. So I didn't.
We don't toss troublemakers out of airlocks.
Great. So I didn't have a lot of stuff with me. And then once I got out of basic training, then you can bring stuff with you. But you don't have a lot of space, do you know what I mean, for goods. Because you're, carrying everything that you own in a couple duffel bags, right? So generally speaking, I didn't have a lot of material goods with me. I remember I was like, okay, I'm going to bring stuff with me. And what I brought with me was my GURPS 3rd edition basic set and dice, right? Because I was like, this is one book, and with this one book, I can GM anything, and I've got my dice. And so I brought my GURPS book with me, some dice, and that was basically it. So I, again, did not have a computer for a really long time. And so I didn't really have much. And I was basically overseas and traveling overseas from 1990 till 1997. I come back to the States in 1997. I'm going to undergraduate again. Not a time to collect a lot of stuff. Yeah, so nothing there. Then I go to graduate school. And I go to graduate school, that's 2001 to 2009. And I think, right before I finish my last year of undergrad, I buy 2 games, which I then play on the computers in the computer lab. I buy Deus Ex and The Sims. And I play Deus Ex. It blows my mind. It's way better than the kind of computer games I played back in the 80s, which were text-based games. And so I was thinking, that's really cool. Like Deus Ex, the first Deus Ex blew me away. So when I'm in graduate school, I'm like madness, all that. But I buy my second console ever, and that is the Xbox, the original Xbox. And I buy it because it's cheaper than buying a gaming computer, basically, right? So I buy this Xbox, and so I have a Mac laptop, and any kind of games that can run on the Mac laptop, I play on that. So I'm playing World of Warcraft when it first comes out, and so I'm playing a couple things on the computer, but then doing most of my gaming on the console. And I go from the Xbox to the Xbox 360, and then yeah, I remember there was like a big deal. Do I buy the PS3 or do I buy the PS3 that was the big scandal? Yeah, it was a PS3. I was deciding, like, do I want to go and get the PS3 or the Xbox 360? But the Xbox 360 was backwards compatible and the PS3 was not. So I was like, what's the point? So I get the 360, which I actually still have, by the way. The next generation that comes out is the PS4 and the Xbox One. But neither one of them was backwards compatible at release. So I was like, well, might as well just go and get the PS4 because there are a couple of games that were exclusive to the PS system that I wanted to play. So I have a 360, which is over there, and the PS4, which is right here. But my whole point for telling you this story is, by the way, the PS4 is currently where I'm at in terms of consoles. So I always went with consoles because you didn't have to worry about, like, it was much cheaper and was already set up for you, right? Bola says, it was with Duke controller or the small one that was offered later. I had the Xbox with the Duke controller. It was massive. I had the Duke controller as well, and I loved it. Loved it. Loved it. I just saw what Krellin wrote, and I'm going to get back to it. So the point is, when we're talking about mods, right, I played Morrowind on the Xbox. And since most of these games that y'all are talking about is like, oh, this game is so great if you're modded, I never played them modded because they were not available. Like I was playing on a console and I did not have access to modded games. And so my experience with a lot of these games that people like only because they've been modded is that I've only played them non-modded. So I've never really been in the mod world. The most I got was I got some mods for, not mods, like not content mods, but like mods for World of Warcraft so I could be a better rogue, like, you know, different overlay stuff, basically, but different UE stuff. But when people talk about mods, I just want to sort of point out that as a console gamer, although I also play on the computer, obviously, that has never been my experience. I've never really experienced games modded. I almost always experience them as they were put out. And if the game is not good, it's not going to be good for me because I'm not patching the game through mods, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? And so when people talk about mods, I think they sometimes forget that, like, not everybody plays on a computer. That's all. Let's see. Krell says, now Hell My Baby is stuck in my head, is now stuck in my head, and I'm going to sing it. Hawkeye says, yes, a lot of great bass solo parts in Southern Gospel, hence why the Cathedral's version of This Old House was one of the inspiration tunes like Goliath Bard sings. Oh, nice. With new lyrics? Yes. Seabag Living, you know, Barantor. You had Warhammer 1E RPG with me. Can I tell you, you know what's really interesting? You talk about Seabag Living. I think one of the reasons why, so I started GURPS in 1988 when the third edition came out, because the first two editions did not last very long. It was like very quick, and the third edition was basically from 1988 to like 2000. It lasted a long time. And I think not only did I really like the fact that I could play a no magic fantasy world with GURPS, and that was like the first campaign I ran on GURPS was a no magic, low fantasy campaign that was really good. And the first, so I had 3 players, and the players, hello.
We're not gonna trouble you again. I swear. Ignore us. Ignore us.
I just wanted to know if you had more information for me, but that's cool. The very first campaign that I ran, so remember, think about this. So I'm coming from, when it comes to fantasy, played a lot of, I hadn't played RuneQuest yet, because I hadn't gotten into my Call of Cthulhu game that did a lot of BRP stuff. So that's context. And we are going to go in here. But I picked up GURPS. I ran my very first fantasy game, no magic. No magic. And the players came up. I had 3 players. They made characters. Ralph made a former gladiator who was addicted to painkillers because he'd been beaten up so much. We had Brian made a bard, but he wasn't really a bard. He was the son. I mean, he was sort of a bard-ish, but he was the son of the leader of a neighboring theocratic sort of fascist country, and he escaped, right? He basically escaped his father and sort of is now basically functioning as a bard-ish.
Why, it's the inspector. Good on you, making a proper entrance.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And then the third was a barmaid who was like, I'm out of here. Like, I want to live a life of adventure. And so she joined a life of adventure. And my point here is that coming from a place like, oh, hello, Kincannon, a place like,
You would not believe how many times that ladder's come in handy. Why ladders do not come standard in all offices is completely nonsensical. Now then, here for my alibi, I assume?
Yeah, later. First, I want an explanation for that nonsense outside.
Another murder? Drunk raptidons? Black hole birdie practicing his hacking in the middle of the street? Stop
Nope.
me if it's one of those, or I'll just keep guessing.
No. I had a run-in with some slug agents.
Sounds as though you've already sorted it out yourself.
Yeah, how did those thugs... why don't you humor me and explain it, though?
In short, Slug has not sent anyone to rough you up, Inspector. That would be acting against our own self-interest. Now ask yourself this. Why would anyone give thugs slug gear and send them after you?
Somebody out there is trying to smear your good name.
Well, to smear my name, anyway. I can't fathom who would benefit from tarnishing my reputation like that. Can you?
If you have a theory, spit it out.
Oh, that's good. That's very good, Inspector. I like this.
Thank you.
Dominant.
Thank you.
Aggressive. The man in charge.
Thanks.
I don't want to accuse anyone without hard evidence, though it may be worth noting Ludovico has motivation in spades. So, as you've deduced, I did not send anyone from Slug after you, nor is it likely they assigned themselves that task. Still, I am sorry for the trouble, Inspector. With that settled, I assume you'll want to know where I was the night of Helen's murder.
Let's hear it.
Let's see. That night, I was... torturing Elliot Nasser for information on missing cargo. That was a messy one. Didn't break until nearly noon the next day. Can you imagine?
Wow. Yeah. And where would I find Elliot Nasser to verify that?
An excellent question. I had his body dropped off the edge of the land complex. I'm not sure what happened to it from there, scientifically speaking. Maybe it dissolved? Ultimately, though, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You'd be a fool to believe me, regardless of what I told you. People lie. And I am, incriminatingly, people.
Wow. I'm gonna say... So your alibi is that you were busy murdering someone else.
Which, as I said, you should not trust. If it helps, however, you might consider pursuing not my means, but my motive. Why in the name of the architect would I kill Halcyon Helen? She was making me a fortune.
So Helen's death is a net loss for Slug.
I'm considering a line of commemorative merchandise. Still, that's nothing compared to what Helen would have made us in the long run.
This guy.
I offer to assist you in your work, but I have a mystery of my own to solve, I'm afraid.
I take it the guy you tortured wasn't the source of your missing cargo, then.
Oh, Elliot stole from me, all right. Alas, you're right in that his was a singular, isolated incident, and as such, does not resolve a concerning broader trend. Items are disappearing from Slug's storage and processing warehouse. The thefts began a week before Helen's unfortunate death, and there have been more instances since.
Interesting.
Before you ask, I know the difference between cargo going missing and cargo going missing. This is the latter.
Trooper told us that story. Should tell us this one, right? It's yes. Oh, I remember saying. I think yes, right. So those three, and I remember when those three characters were made, because it's a point buy, you can make whatever you want. Getting three characters that were not fighter, magic user, thief, that were just these interesting people. I was like, oh, I love GURPS. That's where I was at. I was at that point in the story. I was like, this is so amazing. The players came up with these characters they never would have come up with in a class-based system, right? And I fell in love with that. I loved its combat system. I had such a great time. So this is 88, right? I joined the Army in 1990. And I think one of the things that really helped solidify my relationship to GURPS was that just with that one book, I could take that one book and some D6s with me, and I could play in any genre at any time. And when I was in the Army, you know, you're in that sea bag living, right? That duffel bag living. And so I'm moving, especially in those first couple time period, right? I'm going from station to station, people coming in and out, and the ability to be able to basically not be. Also, it's cheaper, right? I mean, I'm in a lot of gaming books now, but like I didn't have a lot of gaming books then because I didn't have any money. You know, but the first month I was in the Army, I think I made like $700 for the first month I was in the Army. So you don't have a lot of money, but I was able to go and like make any campaign that I could imagine, and the ability to take one book and a couple of dice that you could get anywhere, travel around and make all these really amazing worlds and play that with anybody, and have cool tactics, which all my soldier friends really enjoyed. That was, I think, one of the things that made GURPS really stick with me, right? That I didn't need adventures, I didn't need any of that stuff. I could just, with that one book, go. And that was, I think, one of the reasons why GURPS really stuck with me, because it was one of those sort of grab and go things. Yeah. Yes. Best stories need lead-in stories. This is true of all tale. Trooper, I told you about your ability to still shop at the exchange as a vet, yeah? No. Really? I can still shop at the exchange as a vet? I did not know that. You should drop me information in the Discord about this, because I did not know this, and that sounds exciting. What's gone missing specifically?
Nothing unsavory, and nothing Ludovico shouldn't know about, if that's your concern. I'm quite serious when I say Slug is a legitimate business. As to the
in this world,
specifics, I'm not sure. The warehouse foreman should be able to tell you. Before you ask, I know the difference between cargo going missing and cargo going missing. This is the latter.
So what's the connection to Helen's murder?
I'm not sure. I'm only confident there is one. That the thefts began mere days before Helen's untimely demise is an extraordinary coincidence. I'm not a man who believes in happenstance, Inspector. I do not trust it.
I guess I can't guarantee the theft isn't related to the murder.
I wouldn't take that bet. Regardless, this will be fun. You out in the field, chasing down leads. Me, scheming in my office, preparing to unspeakably mangle the perpetrator.
Well, I don't know how to answer this one. I do not know how to answer this question. We'll talk through it, but I will need to catch up in chat first. Also, Hell My Baby, and this one song. I played on the computer and I still never really modded anything. Yeah, I had the needed ones for rating in WoW back when I played. Yeah, same, right? Beyond some very basic Skyrim ones, and even those I had issues with. Bardic Jason. Trooper, you should finish your thoughts before you talk to people in the game. This is true, Krellin. Official Pug Guy. Homie is straight up saying, like, I'm lying to you and you should have guessed maybe. I think that's trying to do the reverse psychology. But if he's up front being like a creepy liar, then maybe I will believe that he's not a creepy liar, or that he is, but just not about this one thing. You know, it's a strategy. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Oh, wait. Oh, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Honey, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me, then you'll be all alone. Oh, baby, call me on the telephone. Uh, that was for Krellin. Had to do it. But I also realized I needed my megaphone for that one because, period. There was a televangelist that was on TV in the mornings in the Bay Area. I don't know if this televangelist is for Hawkeye, was outside of the Bay Area, but his name was Reverend Gene something or other. Gene something or other. Anyway, he had this Southern Gospel quartet that would sing the opening theme song for his televangelist sermons, and they were really good. They were really, really good. We didn't watch the sermons, but we would watch, like, when it would come on TV, we'd, like, watch the opening, and it was like, the bass would start, well, I want to know, and then the choir would cut, the quartet, the rest of the quartet would come in, I want to know if Jesus welcomes me there. I do not want to be denied. It was just really, it was like the call and response between them was so good. The rhythm was so good. They were just a really quality quartet. Those are the two things I wanted to say. That was the thing. Man, this song, I gotta go rush Spaceballs. Yep, Ribbit. Yes, absolutely. Name isn't familiar. Yeah, Gene something or other. Gene. I followed some I didn't based on their contra reputations. Yeah, absolutely. Some of those people were grifters, is I think the best way to put it. I'll say this once: whoever's behind this is going to jail, not to you. I don't think my character would say that because my character is a hacker and a bartender. I feel like I shouldn't say no to a violent crime lord. Maybe. Just no unspeakable mangling in front of me, please. Maybe. I like to commit my own horrific bodily harm, thanks. No. So 1 and 4 is not Jezza, our hacker and bartender. This feels a little bit too... feels like an unwise choice. We're gonna just say this one. I could go either way. We'll say this because it's a bit more non-committal.
Really, Inspector, no need to flatter me. I assure you, you're already very much in my good graces. You'll want to speak with Ella Tinsley, the warehouse foreman. I've cleared her as a suspect myself, but should she refuse to cooperate, shoot her. I'm joking. If she won't cooperate, tell me and I will shoot her. And do feel free to search my office for clues while you're here. Don't hold back on my account.
Okay. Before I get started...
Was there something else you wanted to discuss?
Yeah, the constable is dead.
Constable Keene?
Yeah.
Now that is a damn shame. Am I right to think this wasn't a workplace accident?
This was murder, all right.
It seems murder is becoming an unsettling trend on Eridanos as of late. Thank you for informing me of Constable Keene's passing. When you find her killer, please be certain to make them suffer.
Oh, my perception's low. Did you know the constable well?
Would it surprise you to hear that, despite being on opposite sides of the law, we were friends?
Oh.
That her loss comes as a sudden blow.
I believe that.
Decent soul. And law knows those are in short supply around here. A little square, perhaps, in her dedication to the rules, but good nonetheless. I'm also saddened to have lost an occasional drinking buddy. She was quite good at cards, you know.
I'm sorry. Constable Keene, she didn't deserve this.
No, she didn't. But let's discuss something else. Do you have other matters requiring my attention?
Yes. Why does Ludovico hate you so much anyway?
The original incident? I made him an offer he should have refused.
Godfather reference. Did you put a severed Raptidon head in his bed?
What? No. Law, no. Why in the architect's name would you think that?
You know.
Combative relationship stems from paperwork, mundanely enough.
Oh.
Rizzo's contracted sublet to construct the Eridanos atmospheric complex. Had Lou wanted Rizzo's to retain full control of Eridanos, He shouldn't have skimmed the revised contract I sent him. Lou's an administrator, for law's sake. I thought he would adore all the fine print I added.
Okay. Official podcast says, what I'm learning from my short time I've been part of this channel is even amazing singing voice. Thank you. So I tried, like, one of the other things about being in the summer means I get to do more gaming, but that also means I get to get back to practicing my banjo, which is right over there, which means sometimes what I like to do on the Saturday stream is start the stream off by singing a song on the banjo. But I've mostly lost my calluses. I have to build them back up again. I've got to get my fingers back. But it's the summer, which means I get to go and get my fingers back. And then I'll be playing some banjo for you all. Just, on a Saturday or so. I need to get my fingers back. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Also, I need to compose some stuff. My favorite was Rex Humbard, that had the integrity to leave TV evangelism and go back to radio to avoid the money temptation and data showing that more Christians are watching than non-Christians, and he wanted to reach the lost, not to entertain the saved. Oh, that's really interesting. Radio evangelism goes back way far. I'd be more surprised if televangelists weren't grifters, and so why as a Christian I couldn't stand televangelists. Valsio says, 3 p.m. morning, I'm going to go to like 3:30. Who stole my fingers? I think I quizzed quite a few Saturdays when you were doing it. It's okay. It's been so long, I'm going to have to go and redo some songs anyway. I think what I'm going to do is go practice 24 Hours from Tulsa again and get that one, which was my math song. How fine of print are we? That's terrible, but also hilarious.
It was all perfectly legal, too, which irked Lou to no end. My power grab, as Lou called it, planted the seed of hatred. And Lou, obsessed with what should have been, has made sure to water it daily with his bitterness and anger.
Wow. Nurturing a grudge is an ugly thing. No, I don't want to say that. I don't care. You'd say what was right with his? No, I don't care about that. I'm sure all the slapping you do each other helps. There you go.
Oh, I'm not an innocent party here. Please don't think I'm claiming to be. Provoking Lou may be fun, but I do have my reasons. Slug's control of Eridanos is a crucial step in my long-term plans for Sublight. The board needs to see irrefutable proof we are a respectable, legitimate business.
But are you? I don't care. When I say I mean Jezza. I don't think Jezza as a hacker and a bartender, I don't think he's not a pearl clutcher. Why do you care so much what the board thinks? That's what he would say.
Because one day soon, Sublight will obtain a seat on it. Meanwhile, our dear administrator is still laser-focused on old slice, which can be a nuisance. He's grown increasingly desperate to catch Slug with our hand in the proverbial cookie jar as of late, convinced we're involved in less than legal business opportunities.
Which, of course, you are.
I wish I could wink, but it always looks like I have something caught in my eye.
I have more questions about Helen.
Very well.
Did you have many dealings with Helen?
A few. Helen was strangely curious about the private business operations around Eridanos. She said it was role research, but how much business know-how does one actor truly need for an action picture?
That's a good question.
I arranged to have Helen supplied with mag picks, bypass shunts, and other hacking tools. She wanted to buy in bulk.
That didn't strike you as suspicious?
That she bought in bulk? Not particularly. It takes time to learn to use tools like that deftly. I wonder, did she run out of time in the end?
Yeah, but you know more than you're telling me.
I might. I just might.
So you should tell me.
Inspector.
I've already made it. That sounds really good. I've already made it.
Yes, I suppose you have. Be very careful, Inspector. I'd very much like to see you still around for the grand finale, whenever it comes, whatever shape it takes.
You didn't kill her. Any idea who would want her dead?
That is the question, isn't it, Inspector?
Yes.
Tell me, do you really believe Helen's death was a mere crime of passion? Or one of petty career jealousy?
Clearly you don't.
This murder is bigger than Miss Helen's personal life. Bigger than her latest moving picture.
I think that I'm hungry, which is why I'm not getting these possibilities for intelligence. Because Jess is pretty intelligent. I'm listening.
Her actions in the time leading up to her death do not align with those of an actor on Eridanos solely to promote Spectrum Brown. Stay sharp, Inspector. Now is not the time to lose focus. Because whoever did kill Helen is not going to come forward so easily.
That's all I wanted to know.
One moment, if you please, Inspector. I've
Yes?
answered your questions. I believe it's my turn to ask you a question now. What
Go ahead.
or who made you decide to investigate me?
You're one of Eridanos' major players. That only makes sense.
Understandable. A man of my standing would naturally be tied up in all this, whether he wishes to be or not. Now then, did you need anything else?
No, excuse me. I am hungry. See that? I got hungry because we were chatting. This is what happens. We were chatting, all of us together, and because we were chatting, my what do you call it? That's not what I want. My hunger thing happened, and so then I couldn't go and get those. Just remind me to be more, to be on top of these things. Just remind me, because
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
I know we're gonna eat first though, because we have this food addiction situation going on, which is terrible. Also, we're going to save right now, and then I'm going to answer the question because there was a question that I have an answer for. And it was, any chance for a combination Banjo-Moog stream sometime? Yes. Yes. I was asked by a colleague if I would compose something next semester for a concert next semester, and I said, of course, yes. But I actually do want to do some Moog streams. I want to go and I've got some compositions I want to make. So yes, yes, yes. If anyone's stealing fingers, it'd be the Fae. Yes. They do something like that. Yes. The banjo also seems like a Fae musical instrument that they'd enjoy. Yes. Yes. So let me think. I talked about consoles and mods. I did that. 1925 music stream. Oh, I know. Xbox got that. New Vegas. Next point that I wanted to tell you. I own New Vegas for the console for 360, I think. I still have all my Xbox games. What I might do though, I've been really contemplating buying for the next, because I do not have the current generation of consoles, which is what, PS5 and the Xbox X or S. I was thinking about getting the Xbox for the next generation, the current generation, because it's backwards compatible, going all the way back to the Xbox original, which means I could play New Vegas and some of those things. So I'm thinking about it. I probably will not do it anytime soon, but I'm thinking about getting the Xbox X or S or whatever series it is, so that I can actually play New Vegas, and then I can play New Vegas with you all. Just what I was thinking. PS5 just became easier to get too. I think they are finally actually. I know I didn't get the PS5. It's like, well, you're never in stores, so whatever. But I'm thinking about it. Thinking about it. Let's see what we have here. Let's get some analysis in.
A cursory fingerprint analysis shows this display case was recently opened or closed.
The gun on the bottom looks special. Has it been customized?
Confirmed. The grip has been modified for a specific wielder, most likely the rifle's owner. Additionally, the plasma rifle sights appear to have been realigned to better accommodate a shooter with slight myopia in one eye.
Let's analyze these fingerprints further.
The fingerprints belong to Cedric Kincannon.
As I expected. Not that someone couldn't have accessed the cabinet using gloves, I consider, but the simplest solution is often the right one. I'm gonna just,
Had it custom fitted by a woman on Monarch.
Yes, do you want to tell me? I'm gonna investigate the entire room first, and then I'm gonna come back to chat with you, because I feel like chairs. I appreciate that you actually do have chairs for people, so that's nice. We're gonna investigate the entire place, and then we will,
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Yes, I noticed.
This copy of TK contains 142 fewer pages than a standard copy. The missing pages were likely removed to create sufficient space for the hidden listening device inside.
Short-range transmission capabilities. The receiver must be somewhere nearby.
Inspector, please consider speaking into the device in order to trace the transmission and reveal the receiver's location.
Whoever's listening, I'm coming for you.
Ominous threat transmitted. Transmission analysis complete. While the precise location of the receiver could not be pinpointed, it has been narrowed down to a smaller, approximate range.
How long has this been here?
Analysis inconclusive. However, there is a minor accumulation of dust particles present on the book's uppermost surface.
I'm going to examine that dust.
98.3% of the dust particles are less than 500 micrometers in diameter.
I wish that I had more intelligence. What's wrong with me?
This
Okay,
unit
thanks.
is glad to have been of service, Inspector.
Let me examine this surrounding area.
The area within a 0.5-meter radius of the book possesses a dust coating comprised of at least twice the number of particles.
It's not very dusty then. Must have been placed fairly recently.
That is highly likely, Inspector.
What's that?
A bug.
Wait, don't tell me. Let's save it for the big reveal once you've solved the case.
That's very, very Agatha Christie of you. I'm going to just do a little bit more. Also, I had more topics. I'm going to get through all my topics today. I'm actually pretty excited about that. Maybe I won't. But I did have another topic. Wow. Although I do want to see what you all are saying in chat. I feel proud of the fact that I'm probably going to be able to get through the entire upper level for today. Is it bad to steal from a crime lord? No. No, I don't think it is. I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine to steal from a crime lord. What could go wrong? Ooh, speaking of, I'm just thinking about the things that happened in Traveler last night and my plans. Let me save. Globalization, but I'm going to read chat first. Chat first, and then globalization. Xbox did that. New Vegas did that. Bethesda. That was one. So, what I was going to tell you was, I can't tell you, I have to look at chat first. That's what I have to do, because I want to know what you have to say, because you say such things. To behave that you're insured as well as erudite. Ooh, too many topics, so little time. It's so true. If Cyberpunk has anything to say about it, they should steal from all the crime lords and corporations. Yeah, that's true. Sing from the Robin Hood, the crime lord makes you a bad person. Maybe. Prax says, I will say I've been thinking about Traveler last night as well. Ooh, Greg. Getting through all the topics. Oh, look, squirrel. What? So, yeah, no, and I asked Greg for a favor because of something that would happen, and I haven't heard back from him yet because, I've been gaming with you all, but I'm sure it'll be amazing.
Inspector, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Nope, I'm going. Okay, so I wanted to say something about globalization. So what's really interesting is that we live in the current moment, right? In the today, in the now. If people don't think about it or know it, they might sort of assume that things are just like they are now, but that's not true. Specifically, things were not as global in the past. And I think about, hello, how are you?
I'm pretty happy working for Slug. Mr. Kincannon treats us with respect.
Am I allowed to pick this lock without getting in trouble? Can I just pick this lock right in front of you? It's my question. So when D&D comes out in like 74, right? D&D comes out 1974, and it becomes a thing. But the thing is, that was. Can I just pick this lock?
What was that? What do you think you're doing?
Nothing. Oh, look, I was just leaving.
Just don't let me get you again, all right?
So no, that was bad. That was bad. That was bad. My intelligence is good. Let's go with reputation. Sublight. Oh, Sublight likes me, so I feel like it's fine. We're okay. We're all right. Groundbreaker likes me. The Iconoclasts mostly like me. Monarch, Stellar Industries, everybody likes me. Sublight. The board does not like me though. The board really. I apparently am kill on sight to the board, which is awkward. Auntie Cleo, mixed. C&P Boar's Factory, mixed. The Deserters really like me. Good on them. Rizzo's neutral. Spacer's Choice. I don't know why they like me so much, but they do. Sublight, neutral. Oh. Huh. Huh. Well, okay. I just can. Okay, so here's my question. Can I go in the door now? I can. Nice. Thanks. Just going in the door now. Just gonna go in the door. Could you all come into the room if you don't mind? Just like come further into the room because I want to shut the door so they can't look at us while we're in here because they don't need to see what we're doing, which is going to be a little bit of thievery. So anyway, globalization, right? So TSR is a super small company, and we didn't really have globalization the same way we have it now in terms of like, well, actually a lot of things really. What would you call it? Logistical chains, TV. I mean, like those of you who are old enough, you will remember that you couldn't get TV from other countries. Like back then, I mean, we got to watch some stuff from the BBC, but it was a year late. There was like a year-long embargo. So when I was watching Doctor Who, it was always a year out of date. And it was just not easy to get things from overseas. So of course, all of these countries made their own D&Ds, right? Drachen och Demoner, so Dragonbane was Sweden's, the Schwarze Auge, or the Darkest Eye, was Germany's. All these different countries made their own RPGs, right, around this time period. Warhammer, right, from England. Rex Arcana in Italy. Aqualade in Spain. I mean, all these countries had their own RPGs that oftentimes in their own language that all came out at the same time because our, what do you call them? Our, I'm gonna say, the globalization was not in the 1970s what it is now. You just couldn't necessarily get things. Brazil, Japan, so many places made their own RPGs. And so there's this whole sort of raft of really interesting RPGs from the 70s, 80s, right, from these other countries that I find super, super interesting. Also, I just want to take a look at our map to see what we got here. Find the bug's receiver. Oh. Let's look at that. The Man Who Chafed, Spencer Woolworth, Prince, go to Black Hole Birdie at his penthouse, nice, and track down the Prophet of Profitability. And we have to go to Botanical Operations, although I'm not quite certain where that is. But we also should probably look at the map because we're right about there. Let's go over there. Why don't we? While we're in the area. And so there were all these really amazing, cool RPGs that happened because of the fact that we lived in a time when you just couldn't get things so easily. You know what I mean? Like it was, now everything's available all the time, which is cool.
A lot of containers. Is this just a distribution center, or you think they're planning something?
That's a good question. I doubt, I mean, I don't know if they're planning something. That seems like a lot. Also, where do you think this goes? Let's look. I don't know where it goes, but let's just see. Probably nowhere interesting. Oh. Hey. This is interesting. Well, fascinating. Anyhow, so with the free, and here's the tricky thing about the free flow of the quote unquote free flow of goods that we currently have. Where are we? Interesting. What this means mostly is that it's a lot of American stuff dominating the world now, right? Because now everybody just gets American stuff. So it's a bit of a loss in that way. But on the other hand, now I no longer have to wait a year to see stuff from the BBC and only the things that will give. Now it's actually pretty awesome that people are able to go and watch, TV from Spain, Netflix, or just the internet. Like I can now see some of the German stuff that I couldn't see any, otherwise. Ooh. Let's steal everything in this room, everyone. Let's steal everything in this room. All of it, let's just take it. Let's take everything in here. And also, I think that things like the rise of K-pop in the US, a lot of these things are actually part of the fact that it is easier to get things from different places than it was before. And if all of you, Barontor would know, anybody who's lived overseas, they, in the US and Canada, we use NTSC, they use PAL. In Europe, which means even if you were able to get a VHS or a DVD, you couldn't play it unless you had a multi-system TV and VCR, which I did because I was in the Army and lived overseas, so I had to have a multi-system TV VCR. But back then, even if you had gotten access to those things, even if you didn't have a multi-system VCR and TV, you couldn't watch them. So there's a lot of ways in which the ability to interact with people from different countries through the kinds of art they created was hampered, artificially hampered, as you all know, region locking, so that we couldn't get access to things. But now we actually can get access to things. So I think in many ways that's a net positive. I do know, however, that there can be frustration about American dominance of the internet and how that can crowd out other information in ways that are not good. I think a great example of that would be the fact that many people who are not in the US think that 911 is what they should call in an emergency, but it is not the case. 911 is not the number to call in many, many countries, right? So that's like an example of something that is not great. But, and I'm not going to check chat because I want to tell you the story before, because I will get distracted the minute I look at chat. I know it. So I want to tell you this thing first because I think it's really, really interesting. Hello?
We don't toss troublemakers out of airlocks. We just throw them over the edge.
Okay. So I was watching a video that was called, Does the Funeral Industry Hate Caitlin? You know who I'm talking about? The what's her name? She's so I really like her. The Ask Mortician.
Discrepancy detected nearby.
Nice. Ask a Mortician. She's that woman who's part of the death positivity movement. She's a YouTuber. She's pretty awesome. And I'm gonna have to eat food before I tell you this thing. Here we go. Whoop, whoop. I'm going to investigate this thing, by the way. Save game. I don't know why I'm saving it, because I'm going to just have to, save again anyway. But, okay, so, Caitlin, something or other. I can't remember her name. Yeah. Caitlin Doherty. Thank you, Valtiel. Thank you. Caitlin Doherty. Now I'm going to read what you said, because I just did. Let's see. I need to investigate this room. They should be scared. The board not liking you is a good thing. I think so too. And collecting all that evidence. Hawkeye says the only way we got to see anything from overseas TV was BBC stuff on PBS. Yep, that's it. That's the only way. PH said, when I visited the US one time, I was telling some locals that I've been watching Happy Days reruns lately, and inadvertently made them think that we were very behind on TV in the Netherlands. If we got to see the US TV series when UK broadcasters on RTA bought them. Yeah, right? So there's like a way in which there was like a real barrier to cultural exchange happening for a long time. Prax says, I can watch episodes of current seasons of anime the day after it airs in Japan, and that's only because of time zones. Yep. And I think that's great. Or I can watch current series from Chinese dramas or Korean dramas as they're airing. Yeah, I think that's really good. Rip not being over encumbered. No, I'm going to sell stuff. It'll be fine. Yeah, it's 999 in some places, 112 in Finland, right? So the video was, how does the funeral industry feel about Caitlin Doherty, who's part of this? She kind of helped start the death positivity movement, and she's really into sort of natural burials and all this stuff. And so this YouTuber who's from Australia did a poll, like called up all these different funeral workers from the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, like all over the world, got like kind of like a whole bunch of people. And she said that basically in the US, most people actually do like her, but there is a very vocal minority of people who hate her, and they're almost all in Republican states, and they almost all hate her because they feel like she says that embalming is bad, which is not exactly what she said. She says that you don't always need to embalm bodies, right? Like not all bodies need to be embalmed, that you should embalm them when it's necessary or useful, but it doesn't have to happen. And so there's like this kind of big hatred of her in the US because of her, you don't need to embalm every body stance, apparently. But that's very political, right? In certain ways, there's like politics there. But what's really interesting is that she was talking about how people felt about her not in the US. Oh, she said that in Canada, they basically are culturally similar enough that they have similar things going on. She said, though, that overseas, people either don't know her, or if they do know her, they think she's fine. But the one complaint, when people don't like her, the complaint they have is actually not about her, right? The complaint they have is, we don't like the fact that America dominates the internet. So people watch her videos and they think that what she's saying applies to the entire world, but it doesn't. The United States is fairly unique in being so embalming heavy that that's actually not the standard in most countries outside of the US. The US got really into embalming after the Civil War, according to this video, and it becomes like a standard thing to do with every single body, but like that is just not how it is in other countries. And so the people who did not like her because of her in particular, but because of the ways in which US content creators dominate the internet. And so people who are not from the US will watch US content creators and think that what those US content creators are talking about applies to them, but it doesn't. It only applies to the US or maybe North America. So I thought that was really interesting to think about the ways in which the dominance of US, and then if we want to be a little bit broader, US and UK voices in social media drowns out other voices. That said, I think that it's really easy if you're English speaking to think that we completely drown out the entire space. But if you speak other languages and look for things in other languages, that's not the case. Just the other day on Monday, today is Saturday. So on Monday, I think it was, I was like during the 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time, I decided to sort of like just check out the internet and go, not the internet, Twitch. I like to browse because I'm doing data collection, right? I like to browse. And all I ended up running into when I was browsing the TTRPG category, the D&D category, was things not in English. Lots of German, Spanish, Portuguese, just lots of stuff that was not in English. And there are a lot of really, like, and the thing is, you can also set your Twitter to see things not in English. And if you only are in an English world, you might think that English dominates more than it does, because you can change your settings and interact with entirely different people if you interact with things not in English. Now, there's a critique of the US of not being bilingual enough, but that depends on who we're talking about. Yes. Yes. So that was that. I'm going to go and investigate this.
Transmission endpoint discovered. The receiver in this book matches the transmitter to the listening device found in Cedric's office. It's somewhat grime-covered.
Any clues as to who put it here?
Due to the high level of foot traffic in this area, this unit is unable to determine who placed the device.
How long has this been on the ground?
Based on the accumulated mix of sludge and detritus, the receiver has been present since approximately a week before Helen's death.
I'm gonna take this receiver. Ooh. I have a clue. But also, I should probably wrap up because it's basically 3:30 and I should stop gaming right now, right? I mean, I feel like this is probably what I should do is stop gaming right now. I should just see.
Somehow, I don't think the freelancers and sublight agents are staying at the Grand Colonial.
Oh, there's stuff there. This person looks like a Han Solo type.
I think I know you. You're that inspector they hired, right?
Yes, I am. So I think what we do is we stand right here at the bottom of the staircase looking this way so we know which way we're going to go when we come back. So let's save. And then I'll do outros. Hey, everybody. Let me see what we got. Prax says, well, I think part of it is also the algorithmic system of a lot of these platforms, yes. If you don't engage with anything that's not an English or UK or American based, then you won't see anything else you have to engage and actually search out. Absolutely, Prax. Other cultural touchstones like me, I actually go out and search for creators who are in Italian or Sicilian or creators about K-dramas or Chinese dramas, yes. And that changes my suggestions because of the way the algorithm works. Absolutely, right? I have been getting, and also I was thinking about, like, I actually go to certain Reddits that are not in English. And if you never search these things out, then you may become very myopic. But there is other information out there and other communities out there. So, I mean, of course, I think the stats show that the internet is pretty much dominated, I think, by the US and the UK, and then Europe in general. But there is other stuff out there. You just do have to search it out, and then if you do, you'll see more and more of it. Like I get pretty decent amounts of German stuff on my Twitter feed nowadays. Set yourself up for success next Saturday. I'm set up. Trooper, are you waiting for me to tell you to save and stop? See, I did it. Also, thank you. Yeah, and I think that it's. So here's the thing I want to say, and I'm going to say this, and it's really complicated, right? And I'm not saying this in a completely 100% way because nuance, right? There is a lot of frustration with Americans being so dominant culturally. And I think that's fair sometimes. Because sometimes the people who are very frustrated are Europeans who used to be dominant culturally, right? And so they're like, we're so mad that it's English and not French, that is the lingua franca, right? So, or I had a bunch of British people I knew who were really mad when they found out that I taught English as a second language when I lived in Germany. I knew some English people who were livid. They're like, how dare you teach English as a second language? They should only be hiring people from England because only we speak proper English. And it's like a scandal and like a tragedy that they would hire you to teach English. And I was like, well, the school I teach at hires people from all over different English speaking countries. And each class is taught by two professors, each one with a different accent. So I might be teaching with Ailish, who's from Ireland. I might be teaching from somebody from South Africa, or there might be a Canadian and a British. Like, the point is they wanted the students to be able to hear multiple accents when they were learning English. And they were just really mad because they didn't think anyone should learn any sort of English but theirs. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, you know? And so I think that sometimes there are critiques from people who are like, we are small, small countries and we're being attacked. And I think sometimes some of it is being upset that they're no longer the dominant force. So that's tricky. And then the other thing I will say, which is, and again, I'm going to go back and forth, right? There are people who are in academia, right? There are academics. I mean, English is now the lingua franca in many, many ways. And there, like, I remember there were academics who, there was like a conference, and there were these Italian academics speaking to Czech academics, and they were speaking in English because the Italians didn't speak Czech and the Czechs didn't speak Italian, but they both spoke English, and so they were able to communicate with each other. That's kind of what a lingua franca does. If we think about D&D, people are like, oh, common, that's so ridiculous, that's so unrealistic, there's no such thing as common. You're like, well, actually, what common is basically the lingua franca that a lot of people have learned as maybe their second language or their first language. And having a lingua franca is often quite useful. And I don't think it's necessarily bad to have one so that people can communicate and coordinate. It just so happens to be at this moment English, which means a bunch of English speakers are often at a slight advantage that their native language is the lingua franca. I do think, however, I think that people who speak English as a native language should learn other languages, right? So even though I'm saying it's not necessarily bad that there is a lingua franca, and that at this moment, it just happens to be English here. There was a time it was English and Russian, and now it's basically English and Mandarin, I think, more. I don't think it's bad for there to be sort of global languages that speed up the ease of trade and all of that. I don't think that's a bad thing. And it just so happens that it's English. If it weren't English, that'd be fine with me too. But I think that if you happen to be the native English speaker of whatever the lingua franca is, I think that it is good of you to learn another language. I think it's good, generally speaking, to learn another language. I think that learning another language teaches you a lot about your own language. I have learned a lot about English just by learning Spanish, Korean, and German. My Korean is very bad. Don't ask me. It's all forgotten. But learning another language just taught me so much about English grammar, English sentence structure. I mean, I learned a lot and then also I learned a lot by learning languages wherein there are concepts that we don't have in English. Do you know what I mean? Like, or seeing how languages are set up and other languages are set up. That has taught me a lot about a lot of things. And I think there's always great value in learning another language. And just because you don't have to, because everybody speaks English, doesn't mean that you shouldn't think about it. Now, of course, not everybody can learn another language because sometimes they are working 60 hours a week in like a really, really hard job, and that doesn't give them space and time to learn another language. But now there are like apps that help, and you can get access to media in other languages, which also helps. I mean, what helped me learn German was living in Germany, and then watching German TV and listening to German. And back before, it was hard, especially in the United States, because the United States is such a huge country. It was hard to get access to things. I mean, I grew up in California, so I could get access to Spanish, and also Cantonese, because I grew up in the Bay Area. But if you don't grow up in a space where you can get access to media back in the day, it would be really hard to be able to get access to media, which can help you learn in a more conversational way. But now it's easy to get access to those things, and there are specific computer programs that will help you. And so I think that we're in a better space. I mean, some things are on fire, but I actually am very excited about the fact that we have more opportunities to learn from each other now than we did before. And I was so excited to run that stream in German and to play in a German stream. And I hope I can do another German stream because I think that's really cool. So anyway, those are all my thoughts about that. Time of Gift says, in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, there were so many ethnicities, a compromise was made that the language in Parliament was Latin, right? I mean, I think that I feel like it doesn't have to be all or nothing, right? You know what I mean? Like, we can have small languages and large languages. We can have lingua francas and also specific languages. We can have both. You know what I mean? Like, ¿por qué no los dos? This is my this is my feelings about most things. Lonku says, in COVID time, the daughter of a work colleague, 21, learned Korean out of boredom. See, that's cool if that's possible. Do you know what I mean? And so I am, and not just for the ultra wealthy. I mean, if you go back a century or so, right? It was people, a lot of times it was wealthier people who could just travel. I'm going to go to Europe and learn French, you know what I mean? And so the fact that access to other cultures is more accessible to people who are not wealthy or in the military, I think is really good. So I have, despite the rise of ethno-nationalism globally, I have a lot of high hopes for the ways in which the world is getting a little bit smaller and we're coming together a little bit. And so I, being the sort of Pollyanna sort of person I am, I've got some hopes for the future and for the ways in which in 20 years, we'll see what it means that people have been able to experience each other, you know? We don't need to have these strict binaries. Absolutely, Artie Snack, absolutely. Don't get me wrong, we're still in COVID time. Yes, we are. No matter what the WHO says, the WHO. So, I should actually go now. We should probably do a raid, is what we should do. I want to thank all of you all for hanging out with me. This has been so lovely. Vola says, 16th century, a Roman priest had to whip rich landowners' kids' education before we had proper schools. Absolutely. Sometimes if you wanted to get educated, you just had to go to a nunnery or a cloister. That's how you learned all that stuff, right? Thanks for the doom. Yeah, thank you for being here. So let me see. We're going to do a raid, but first let me think. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you want to find me, here's my socials. I've got a Discord. Join, hang out. We're very friendly. We're not like too spammy either, but we share random things, and which I enjoy very much. You can find me here, which is Trooper SJP on Twitch or Trooper SJP on YouTube. And if you're watching YouTube, you know, give a like or subscribe. If I get to 1,000 subscribers, it's currently like 300 something or other, then I get to be a partner. That'd be cool. And you can find me at Academic Foxhole on Twitter. You can also find me at Academic Foxhole on Patreon. That Patreon goes to pay for the subs, that pay for the cast for the RPGs that I run. And you know, I'm gonna be running. I want to try to run some more RPGs over the summer. So I'm being bold and probably somewhat unwise, but hey, that's what I'm doing. I want to be bold and somewhat unwise. And we have a merch store, which, hey, go buy some merch if you like. We've got a, you know, like our Trooper SJP's Academic Foxhole mug, which I enjoy. And then our current collection is all Gambler stuff, which is the current Traveler game that I'm running. But I'm gonna be sort of putting up some Crash Jones merch, probably. Gotta decide when to sort of put that out there, because I want it to sort of like, I want good timing. But anyway, I'm working up some Crash Jones merch with the help of Josh Meehan's amazing art. And I'm gonna put some stuff in there and put a Crash Jones collection. Probably we only have 7 episodes left of Traveler. So I might do Crash Jones once Traveler finishes, in which case, like another serial of Crash Jones on the Friday. We'll see. And if so, then we'll probably reveal all of that right then and there too. We will see. We'll see. So I'm here for bold and questionable decisions. Oh yes. So let's raid people. That's what I want to do. I want to raid someone. Who are we going to raid? Also, who's up? So Random Red Rum is up, and they've only got 16 people. So let's raid them and give them some love. They are playing, what are they playing? Cozy Grove. So we're going to go and raid them and give them the sub raid command, give them some love, and I want to let you know that I'm going to make biscuits and gravy. I'm going to make biscuits and gravy today, and I'm very excited about that. So let's rate them, everybody. thank you very much. And y'all are wonderful. And I will catch you all on the flip side. And let's give some love in our raid. Okay. Bye, everybody.